All right. Hello and welcome everybody back again to Neogen Esports. We are so happy to have everyone here to see this week 2 game. Neogen Xenos taking on Monkey's Doom in the Titan League here. Now we're just hanging out for a minute. It's just me right now, your favorite caster, Poppy. Hot Muffins is on his way, but don't fret. We got plenty to talk about before this starts up here. Again, I just want to say a big thank you to anybody that is watching and welcome to Neogen. If you haven't been here before, you're in for some fun. A lot of competitive league gets played in this channel. And if you look below, you're going to see some really awesome links to our socials, Discord, Twitter, TikTok. We got a merch line. We've got art and we've got it all, to be honest, here at Neogen. So thank you for everybody who is watching, whether it's your first time or you've been a long time watcher of Neogen Esports. All right. So, what I was saying earlier, it is week 2 in the Titan League here. And Neogen Xenos is taking on Monkey's Doom tonight. Monkey's Doom. That's right. This is a pretty important game. This week 2 match helps set the tone for both of these teams to see how they are going to operate into the later part of this season and how their footing is going to be, especially within their division. It's going to be an exciting game, and we are seeing the draft phase is kicking off right now. Neogen Xenos pulling the Swain out of the mix, and Monkey's Doom answers back with another target ban against Cuddle in the top lane. And these second picks are coming out on the bans. Mundo gets taken out for Xenos, and Monkey's Doom doesn't want Packy playing that Ziggs. Makes sense to me. Packy is the number one Ziggs in the world. You just have to look at those stats, look him up. Paxax, he is a Ziggs aficionado. So I can definitely understand why Monkey's Doom does not want to take that take that into consideration for this game. Senna being banned third for Neogen here. Very strong pickup right now in the meta. About to receive some nerfs though coming up in this next week, so that's definitely uh, going to be impactful for her overall standing in the meta. But as of right now on this patch, Senna very strong, and Monkey's Doom takes out the J4, kind of a target ban against Prophet. Seen Prophet pilot this really well through the season, through the scrims. Smart move by Monkey's Doom. It looks like both teams have done their homework. And it does look like Varus will be the first pick for Neogen Xenos here. Paxax getting something comfortable. A great lane bully with the Varus long range wave control and kind of play that hybrid role. But Monkey's Doom firing back quick on the picks. Talia and Xin Zhao come down. These guys got a game plan. And the Talia and Xin, great skirmish combo. Strong duo in the mid jungle. I like these picks by Monkey's Doom. And we're going to have to see what Neogen is going to be able to come up with here to counter these picks. Most likely going to be picking their jungler on this rotation to match the Xin Zhao. Try to get Prophet a pretty good champ. Yep. The Pantheon comes out. It's definitely a strong one for Prophet. He's piloted this quite a bit with a great success rate, I might add. Strong pickup for Neogen here on the Pantheon. It's a prio pick in the jungle, especially in these fearless drafts. We'll have to see what they rounded out now on this third pick in the rotation. Wait until that last second, and it will be the Aurora for Vuso. Aurora into Talia. Not a bad matchup, but it can still be a bit difficult. Answered with a safe 80 carry from Monkey's Doom. They take the Sivir this time. No Sivir for Paxax this series. And now the last bans will be coming out here also. Got Janna being taken away on the side of Monkey's Doom. They do not want Ban to get his hands on a range support, and a good one at that. Janna very strong with disengage. Makes it pretty difficult to navigate some of these fights. Neogen answers with a Gragas in the top side. Good safe blind. Maybe the top laner from Monkey's Doom is proficient on the Gragas as well. Strong ban. What will Monkey's Doom take out of here last? It looks like it will be the Orn that gets banned last on the side of Monkey's Doom. Trying to limit Cuddle's champ pool just a little bit more with a strong frontliner being taken off the board. Now Neo gets its last ban to come through here. Will they target the top lane again? Will they try to limit the support pool? We'll have to wait and see. If I had to guess, I would think it's going to end up being a top lane ban here. Try to give Cuddle a favorable matchup. Yep, and it does end up being the Renekton being taken off the board. Instant lock on the Thresh, though. Monkey's Doom really picking quickly here. They have a plan. You can see they have a plan, and they're trying to stick to it. Some pretty strong picks coming through. Thresh, not as meta as some of the other supports that we've been seeing recently, but definitely a strong champ. And in the right hands can be absolutely devastating. This could be a pocket pick Monkey's Doom is bringing out, and that could be kind of scary to deal with here. And it does look like we have the Braum being picked up for Neogen. I like this pick a lot from Band. Very safe support, and it can really cause a lot of disruption against the Thresh, the Sivir, and the Talia. Putting that wall up is going to block a lot of damage, and I like that to keep this Varus alive, allow Paxax to really operate on the back line with not too much threat of getting dove down. And you will see Cuddle's pick of choice is about to come out here. Let's see what we've got. It does look like it's going to be Rumble. Rumble is picked up for Neogen here as the top lane for Cuddle, something we haven't seen too often here. This is definitely going to be a pretty interesting pick. We saw Rumble last time on Tuesday in the scrim, absolutely burning Cuddle down. The Cuddles decide that he wants to play it this time, and look at that, everybody. I would say right on time, but not quite. My beautiful co-caster Muffins has joined. Muffins, how's it going tonight?
Sorry for the delay, everyone, but I am here. I am ready. I am excited. And I see we've already finished a draft. I heard we've got some Rumble action.
We got Rumble action, Muffins. Yeah, right now draft has just concluded, and it does look like Olaf is being picked up on the side of Monkey's Doom here to try to take out that Rumble. A complete mirror of the matchup we saw on Tuesday, but this time Neo is piloting the Rumble. There's been some spicy picks here, Muffins, and I know as you're getting acclimated back into this cast tonight and seeing what's going on, I think we're in for a bit of a banger here in this week 2 match in Titan.
Yeah, I mean Neogen coming out strong from their first win last week. They've been on a bit of a win streak, and they had a really tough scrim earlier this Tuesday. I'm not sure if you guys caught that stream, but tough scrim against a really strong team. Come to find out, they were actually a team in the next bracket up in Titan Esports. But Neogen had a really strong showing there. They did take one game off of them in the third game. I think Neogen is still looking really strong for this second week in Titan. I think the boys have got this.
Yeah, it's they're playing up in that last scrim on Tuesday, and they played really, really well, held in strong even on the losses, and it was really good to see. It shows that they're able to fight above their weight class and still be a contender. So going into this match, where now they're on level playing field with this team, Monkey's Doom. I think we're in for a really, really good showing. Neogen has been on fire when it's came to its official matches at the end of Blue Otter, they won like the last 3 weeks and then started off hot in Titan and won week 1. So this is really going to be, I think, a very pivotal match, and it's going to set the tone for this season, big time for Neogen. But I think they've got a great fighting chance here to really just show out and put Monkey's Doom down.
Yeah, got to put the monkeys down. Got to put the monkeys doom down and get a second win on the week. Or I'm sorry, on the season here. Um, I don't. How many games are there actually in the Titan League? Do we know how many games there are?
That's a great question. I would imagine 7 or 8 weeks is pretty standard. I'm not sure if production has any idea on that, actually. This is info we should know, but
Yeah,
we're
we'll
just
come
here for
back
the
to you.
content, guys. We'll be out back on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll find out. I'm sure Remy, if she's in here, she'll ping in the chat or something. We'll get a response for you guys on that one. But it does. I'm not sure if we got a little bit of a delay here starting the match, but um, Poppy, I gotta put it out there. Which of these two team comps do you think is looking stronger so far between Neogen and Monkeys in this first draft?
Yeah, it's a difficult one to kind of weigh right now. I think both teams do certain things really, really well. Uh, they've both picked semi-safe bot lanes that are primarily focused towards wave control and just maintaining an even state in whatever lane that they are at, while also having good peel and CC or engage potential with their respective skills and ults. So I think you see a similar gameplay on the bot side. I think where some of the action is really going to occur is going to be in the top side of the map where the skirmishing is going to take place. Monkey's Doom has a strong skirmish with the Talia Xin Zhao, but you can't sleep on an Aurora, Pantheon, or Rumble. My worry is I think the early game fights go the side of Monkey's Doom.
Yeah.
I think Neogen needs to scale up just a tad and see how they can transition into the mid and late game. Um, with that being said, I've got to give it over to Neogen on the comp. I see the vision, I see the lockdown, the execution from a Pantheon W stunning down one of the characters, Rumble ult right on top. Braum blocks a lot of the Sivir damage and Talia damage and tries to peel off the dive. The only problem I think is going to be this Olaf.
Yeah, definitely the Olaf is going to make a huge impact. I don't see a ton of tools to cut through the Olaf explicitly, and the CC the CC immunity on the Olaf ult is going to give him a lot of ability to run in and take that punishment from the Pantheon, from the Varus, from the Braum stun, and then be able to pop that ultimate and continue running in, soaking up some of that CC. Yeah, I want to go back to what you said about the early game. I think you're really onto something there. The Xin Zhao pre-level 6, the Talia pre-level 6, the Olaf pre-level 6 is much stronger than the Aurora Rumble pre-level 6. However, I do think once those level 6 ultimates come online, it's going to be a really good team fight between the Aurora ult slow and the Rumble ult stacked on top of it. It's a lot of area control that Neogen has that Monkeys is going to have to play around. But these early sort of level 3, level 4 skirmishes for the early objectives is going to be extremely strong for Monkeys. And I think they're going to look to try to snowball from that point. Neogen's going to have to play those engages extremely smart and look for those picks with the Pantheon W to try to burst somebody down before they take those engagements.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think it's definitely going to just come down to a game of execution. Both comps, in my opinion, do a similar job. The outliers are the top laners. I think in this, they're a little more have their own unique focus. Olaf is trying to dive the back line while Rumble is really just trying to find a really nice ult and then just burn down the closest target. I definitely think though that this game is going to really come down to just execution more than anything. Either comp can really take this one home.
Yeah.
And so I think you got to really keep eyes here on the jungle in this early game. We need
Mhm.
to be seeing what is Prophet going to do on this Pantheon to open up these opportunities for his team to get ahead and get into the mid game in a really nice spot.
We've got some movement here. I don't think you guys can see this on the stream, but we do have a little bit of I think Vuso is having some possible connection issues. Um He's joined back. Okay, I think we are about to get underway here, everyone. I wanted to take a moment and just talk about the stream for a minute. While we're waiting on this delay. Uh, just to we've got 11 people in here. I also see we've got produced by Milo. First message in the chat. What's up, Milo? Thank you for joining the stream. Appreciate you hopping in here, supporting the stream and the boys. Please drop us a follow as well. And for anybody who's in here who's not aware, Neogen, we've just started this organization not too long ago. We've put in a lot of effort so far. There's been a huge team behind the scenes putting together some art, some production, some emotes. We've got socials going. We've got a Discord going. The main attraction that we've got going here, this Neogen Esports team, right? Neogen Xenos. We are in what is this, a Masters League in
The
Titan? Am I right, Poppy?
I think this is
The Diamond
the
League?
Diamond League Masters Peak, Masters
Yes.
Peak. Yep.
Um, and Neogen, this team has been working together for quite some time now. We were previously a part of a different organization, but we have since separated and started kind of our own thing. And we are hoping to continue to gain some traction here, both for the Neogen Xenos team, but we've got a lot of stuff going on, don't we, Poppy? We've got League, of course, but we are planning to branch out. We would love to bring in some more League teams, but totally happy to bring on any sort of esports, Valorant, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, you know,
Club Penguin. We got
shit.
a
Yeah,
really
I was like,
growing
shit. I
Club
don't know.
Penguin fandom here. So if
Um,
you're into that thing too, come on, Club
Rocket
Penguin, baby.
League. I know Spaghetti Kids is in here a lot, kind of a Rocket League stan. We can do whatever in here. But just wanted to kind of give you guys a rundown. We've got merch already. We are really pumping a lot of time and effort into this. We've got an Emerald team in the works as we speak. Um, so come join us. We've got YouTube, we've got Twitch, we've got Discord. Come on in, join the Discord, hop in here. We're always popping around, playing some casual games, but we've also got competitive games going on. Milo subscribing with the Twitch Prime. Thank you very much. Love to see that. Appreciate the support from that. And yeah, I mean, if you've got questions, if you've got concerns, if you want to hop in and see what we're all about, please join the Discord. We would love to have you here.
Yeah, we can't say it enough. You guys allow us to live this out, to make this thing happen. Your views and you just being a part of this growing organization and community is just so valued from everyone here at Neogen. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. And don't worry, this wait is about to end. We're about to get some league coming in just a couple of minutes. They are going to be on the Rift for this game one of this best of three fearless series in the Titan Vanquisher League. Neogen Xenos versus Monkey's Doom. Who do you think's going to take game one, Muffins? Who's going to take game one?
I mean, it's gotta be Neogen. Um, the boys have been just so strong recently. I have seen such an improvement since we started this up. I think the split and the creation of this Neogen Esports league has lit a fire under the boys. They are playing strong. They are practicing a lot. We've got a lot of momentum right now, and they have been absolutely dominant in their games. We've seen them picking up some new champs. We've seen them picking up some new comps. And I gotta say, it's got to be Neogen based on their recent performance. Now, my question, Poppy, is who's going to get the MVP this match? And also, who do we think is going to get the Iron Medal of Failure?
Remy threw it out in chat. I was about to say the real question is who's going to get that Iron Medal of Failure tonight in this game one. What's more important, MVP or Medal of Failure? They almost have equal weight, right, Muffins? It's hard to say, right?
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, MVP carries the game, but the Iron Medal of Failure, that is the person feeding the person who is being the MVP. So I don't know. Remy's got she's got Thresh, or sorry, not Remy. Richie's got Thresh on the chopping block. I think it could be Thresh. I hate to say it, but I don't know. I feel like it could be Packy this game on the Varus.
Ooh.
Immobile. He's a bit squishy. He's a bit immobile. He's got an Olaf running at him. He's got a Xin Zhao running at him. They got the Sivir ult running him down. It could be Packy.
Wow. Going right for the boys, right away for the jugular there on Packy. If I had to pick someone from Neo, though, probably most immobile. You had it right. It's going to be difficult for him to get away. But I think who's going to take this medal home first tonight is actually going to be the Olaf.
Oh,
I think he's going to dive too deep and he's going to catch a flame spitter to the face that just burns him up. And I think we're going to see if he doesn't build some kind of resistance, he's not even going to make it to the back line. If an Olaf doesn't get ahead, it's really, really difficult for him to really be impactful in the game because he can still be killed relatively quick, right? Even through his ultimate. Yeah, he can't be CC'd, but the damage is still there. So I
yeah.
think we need to look out for that one. I'm putting my money on Olaf for the Ivory Medal of Failure, but I'm also going to throw out an MVP guess. I'm saying it's going to be Prophet. It's going to be my boy. He got them fingers,
Yeah, let's go.
Prophet's out there, and he's making things
Let's
happen. Many of
go.
these early games for Neo where they thrive as a team, and he sets the team up for just the ability to really scale up and move into the mid game and actually be a gigantic threat. His movements around the map and his pathing have been really good. And look at that, Muffins. Game was about to start, but what do we get? A pause. A pause again every
It
time.
it wouldn't be a game of competitive league if there wasn't at least one pause. Oh,
Oh,
and we're back already.
quickly did.
Wow. Instantly back. Yeah, I think Profit is a good option. I've been really impressed with Vuso's performance recently. Really, really impressed with Vuso. And Aurora, his top champ. Aurora's super strong right now, but hey, look at this, Poppy. We've got 5-man on both squads, headed to the bot lane. Gonna get a little spicy here. It's
This
gonna
is
get a little
scary.
spicy here.
The Thresh makes me a little scared, but Braum
Oh,
level 1 is
oh,
OP. They've gotten
oh,
into this bush. Now they just need to
oh.
lay and wait. And we're about to see something happen, Muffins. We're about to see something happen. Who's going to strike first? And
Okay,
it is going to be
okay.
side of Neogen. They do hit the Q from the Braum, getting the stun up onto the backside, but it looks like they've split off a little bit. They have not stayed together. Packy has ramped up his attack speed. He is getting a lot of shots down, but Neo split too deep. Cuddle saw blood, and he went in for the kill, but it ends up causing Neogen to lose a couple members on the backside. Packy doesn't find the kill onto the Thresh, but Cuddle's not finished yet. He keeps burning him down. Vuso, with the 3 procs on his auto attacks, is finding some damage onto the Xin Zhao, but the Xin Zhao is life-stealing pretty well here. Will Vuso get the kill? He does find it, and there comes Prophet on the back end from the
Let's
base to kill
go!
the Thresh. 5 kills to Neogen, 4 go over the side of Monkey,
Oh
and that's one
my.
hell of a scrap.
Oh my God, that was a bloodbath. That was an absolute bloodbath. This is going to be an insane series. This is going to be a scrappy series. I can't believe that. I thought that was going to go so well. Cuddle just aggressively flashes right onto the Talia. He's not having it. He goes right after the Talia, splits off, and that ends up being not the right call. They needed Cuddle's damage into that AoE. The Flame Spitter would have done so much work into the team of Monkey's Doom, but he does pick up 2 kills. He gets the Dark Seal. The Jin Zhao picks up 3 kills himself. This is a crazy start to the game.
Muffins, this is what you want to see. This is the kind of start that we need. No slow 5-point. Let's 5v5 and just send it right off the rip. I love it.
Yeah, this is gonna be a hell of a series. Both of these guys, you can tell, they really want this. They are really fighting. Look, Xin Zhao already here, level 2. He only took his blue buff. He's hovering around bot side. I mean, they are wanting blood. They're out for blood early. And I think that this is actually the right call for Monkey's Doom. We were talking about this before the game started, that these early game skirmishes go to the side of Monkey's Doom, and if they can get enough of an early lead, or like early on before level 6, they're gonna be able to hopefully snowball it. But Neogen actually takes 1 kill over him. I mean, it's only a 300 gold lead so far, but that's enough for an extra item here in these early skirmishes to make a huge, huge difference.
Yeah, and let's look where that gold was spread though, right? So Neogen, I think, are going to be really happy with how that level one engagement took place. You've got kills across the board on a lot of the members. Picked up some gold. You see some gold funneled into the top side of the map. All three members on Neogen, and it's not going to be a game without Band picking up some kills too, right? So you give him a little bit of love also. Whereas on the side of Monkeys, it all went onto the Xin Zhao. They really need to see this Xin make a gigantic impact in this game for that level 1 to be worth it.
For sure. And I mean, if any jungler is going to make use of an early 3-kill lead, it's going to be a Xin Zhao.
Mhm.
So far, he hasn't been able to find that opportunity, but it does look like Cuddle is shoved into the topside tower, and he doesn't know that Xin Zhao is there. He doesn't have the vision. He's going to be caught out. Xin Zhao, he does miss his W, but he finds the Audacious Charge anyway. They get the knockup onto Cuddle. He doesn't have Flash, though. He used it level 1. He's going to be taken down. That's an unfortunate miss for Cuddle. Prophet, though, in mid, goes for the Flash W, stun onto the Talia. Talia also not with Flash because of these level 1 skirmishes. Junglers making big, big impacts early on in this game.
Yeah, another kill over to that Xin Zhao, and look what he picks up on his first
Oh
back
my
here.
god.
He is almost close to his Titanic
Oh
Hydra.
my god,
Um,
that's so much gold.
yeah, this is a really, really scary Xin Zhao, and they need to really do their best to track where he is at on the map. Cuddle, known to be a very aggressive player, and it gets him burned again. He's too aggressive and just too far up in the lane without the
Oh
vision
no. Oh
control on
no.
a bad timer. But here we go again. Another engagement has taken place. Exhaust goes down on the Sivir to try to stop a little bit of the damage, but the
Oh.
Xin Zhao has shown up. Audacious charged forward, trying to find the knockup on the Band, and he does get it. That's a kill over to the Thresh, but on the backside, Packy did pick up the kill onto that Sivir. Packy's ramped up, and he's trying to find the fight. Prophet on the backside, trying to see if something's going to happen. This is a great bait. This is a great bait. Oh, Paxax and Prophet played that perfect. Packy was stayed just far up enough to be like, oh, please, don't hurt me, Mr. Zinzao. And he jumped right on him with Prophet laying in wait and found the stun. That couldn't have been executed any better, and that turned a pretty rough-looking play into a net positive for Neogen.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge gold funneled into Pantheon. That's huge gold funneled into Packy on the Varus. I think Neogen is overall happy with that. Any kind of shutdown on the side of Monkey's Doom right now to stop this flow, this early game pressure that they have. Getting Xin Zhao off the map is huge. Getting him to waste time in bot lane is huge. Anytime they can get him to waste that about amount of time into a gank is great. Cuddle, though, unfortunately misses out on the level 6 early, and the Olaf is popping his ult, but he just runs away. The Olaf takes way too many tower shots, and Cuddle makes a great play with the flash away from Olaf to just let him get burned by the ult or by the tower during his ult.
I got 2 words for you, Muffins. Phase rush. Phase rush. What an amazing rune there. And he used it perfectly on the flash, proc that phase rush, and he just ran his little Yordle butt out of there.
That's awesome. Heads up play from Cuddle. Great knowledge of how to use his champ and how to use that disadvantage in the level, but the tower to secure that kill for himself. He's then able to just get level 6, ult the wave, and shove that out so that he can get a free back as well without his TP up. I think Cuddle's going to be pretty happy with this Oblivion Orb Swifty start, right? He's going to be able to kite around the Olaf, use that Oblivion Orb to cut down on some of the healing. Kind of a heads up play here from Cuddle. It is going to delay his first item, this Leandry's first item for him, but the Oblivion Orb is going to stop the Olaf from being able to do what he wants to in lane. Prophet going in on this engage in the river against the Olaf. He's level 5, but Cuddle's there to follow up. Talia is not going to be able to get there in time, I don't think, and they're just going to cut him down.
Yeah, but that Xin has found Prophet on the backside. Does get the charge in, but he's getting forced off by Cuddle. And now Cuddle and Vuso have Warlock on the backside. He's trying to run, dashes over to the crab to try to find some distance, but he ain't going to get away from that. And that's another kill going over to Neogen. Vuso getting that one.
Yeah, this has gotten really sloppy from Monkey's Doom, right? The Xin Zhao, he's blown this early game lead completely out of the water. And actually, now Prophet on the Pantheon, 4-1 with the 250 gold bounty. He's probably going to back and finish his first item here. I just don't really know what Monkey's Doom was looking for. They've tried to go for these scraps that just aren't really the right play. They had no idea where I'm sorry, where Cuddle was. The Olaf had just gotten back to lane, but had barely even finished catching the wave before he ran down to try to fight Prophet off of these grubs. And I just don't think that that was the right time to go for that fight.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And but good for Neogen. I mean, looking awesome right now. 11-6 at 8 minutes, 17 kills in 8 minutes already. I mean,
This
it's been a scrappy game.
This has been TDM, not a typical game of Summoner's Rift League of Legends. I gotta say, this has been an ARAM. I'm gonna pop over to the chat real quick and just take a look at what we've got going on. Remy saying this is a scary game already. We're 5 minutes in. Absolutely. This is I not only I mean 5 minutes in, we doubled the kills and we're only 3.5 minutes later from that. Absolutely insane. Remy also dropping in the chat. Olaf is going to get the badge for sure. I think you're right, Remy. This Olaf already 0-3. He's so far behind. The top side of the map for Neogen, incredibly ahead, incredibly strong. Really, the only thing Monkey's Doom have got going for them is this Xin Zhao, and he's already given away that bounty gold twice. I think it's kind of not looking super good for the side of Monkey's Doom here.
Yeah, Monkey's definitely a bit on the back foot right now, but not out of this one. About a 2K gold difference. Pretty negligible at this time. Uh, we'll see how they're able to transition out of this early game here soon. But I really do like Neogen's positioning right now in this game. They've got gold on the right members, whereas Monkey's Doom has really only got gold on that Xin Zhao and Thresh. So it looks like the supports on both sides are going to be pretty impactful this game, but we'll see what they're able to do with that.
We dropped into a little bit of a neutral state. There's not any objectives on the map right now. Rift, or I'm sorry, not Rift. The Grubs went over to the side of Neogen. The Dragon goes over to the side of Monkey's Doom. That is a nice pickup, a little cross map for Monkey's Doom. Something, a little bit of a consolation prize for them. Dragon stacking, as you know, is so incredibly important in competitive League of Legends. Those global stats for the team is worth so much gold. And I do think that if they stack enough dragons on the side of Monkey's Doom, it could help them swing the game back in their favor later on. However, I want to just take a little bit of a pause here and take a look at the state of the game. We've got some really strong item spikes for Neogen. Prophet finishes his Sundered Sky on this back. Aurora, Vuso on the Aurora finishes his Hextech, or not his Hextech, his Luden's Companion as well on this recent back. Packy finishing his Blade of the Ruin King on this recent back. They are up a lot of powerful items right now, and they are looking to invade into the jungle of Monkey's Doom, setting up some vision. Monkey's Doom looking to try to fight them out of it and split them off with this Talia ult. Band director is able to just flash over and walk out. But yeah, what do you think Neogen needs to do here to keep control of this game?
Well, I think they're in the lead right now, right? They need to group up here and use this 4v4 and go for the fight like you're seeing right now. The engage takes place.
Whoa.
Prophet jumps in onto Warlock. They do find the kill onto Xin Zhao. Ban does go on the backside, going quite deep there, but Vuso's trying to find the damage to take down this Talia. Nice, nice ult from Cuddle. Come down, trying to burn down. Vuso does find the kill on the back end, and this fight is taking place right under this mid lane tower. A lot of kills going over to either side here, but it ends up looking like a 2 for 3 in the favor of Neogen on that one.
Yeah, that was a really interesting fight. I mean, it was a bit disjointed to get started. Not all of Neogen was kind of really ready to take that fight. Packy was coming in from the river, split from the rest of the team. So he isn't really able to walk up as far as he would like to. So he just tries to throw his ult down, but Aceling on the side of Monkey's Doom on the Sivir, really nice spell shield. Eats the Varus ult, completely stops any chance for Packy to get in there and deal some strong DPS for the side of Neogen. And I think that that's kind of what ends up resulting in the fight being even, where I think otherwise Cuddle's TP would have certainly turned that fight for the worst on the side of Monkeys. Really nice play from Sivir there.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely dissuaded a lot of the engage potential on the side of Neogen. Something that they don't really actually have a ton of. After Prophet goes in, the follow-up really is that Varus ultimate, or to even kick off the fight. So that was really well done by Aisling. But again, pretty even trade around the board there in that skirmish. We'll have to see what they're able to do, moving that gold around. I think Vuso ended up really benefiting from that fight, though. Now 4-1, and we see what an Aurora can do when when they get a couple of kills and some items on their side. The one shot potential is crazy.
Poppy, look at this. Look at this in the top lane. Okay, he's backing now, but Xin Zhao has actually snuck into this brush. He's in there, ready for a lane gank. Cuddle, I'm not sure if he just is worried about it or if he has spotted him somehow. Maybe just playing a little safe because he doesn't know where the Xin Zhao is, but that could have been really bad for Cuddle there. I think the Olaf and the Xin Zhao would have been able to cut him up pretty quick. I kind of like these plays from Monkey's Doom. They're trying to be a little bit sneaky with finding these pockets of vision where they can maybe try to set up a pick. I do think that that's kind of the only angle back into this game for Monkey's Doom is to find these picks and use the pick potential from something like a Thresh and the damage from this Xin Zhao to try to set up a pick. But Pantheon, Prophet on the Pantheon just finds the Talia sleeping, gets an absolutely insane pick, but Vuso, I don't think he meant to take that portal there from his
Yeah.
ultimate and gets a little bit triple teamed. And Band Director is also not looking like he's going to get out. Tries to save him. Somewhat of
Yeah.
a desperate ult, but that's not a great trade for Neogen.
No, that one definitely turned out for the worse there. I think Vuso made a mistake on that one, accidentally teleported back over to the other side of that fight, causing him to have to try to get away, but ends up falling. But you do see now, Pantheon is here in the top lane. Prophet using that ult to great effect, finding the pickup onto the Olaf. The kill credit does end up going over to Cuddle, but Dragon does fall. And that's another Dragon, number 2 over there on the side of Monkey.
Yeah, that's really not that's not good for Neogen. I think losing that fight would have been fine. Losing that fight and the dragon plus their I mean look at this. Now monkeys are walking into the jungle. They have vision. In the jungle, they knew that Prophet went topside to go for this gank onto the Olaf. They don't have any worry about taking this entire red side jungle from Prophet while he's taking the Rift Herald. They're gonna just grab the vision, take the red buff, and they're gonna go home. Prophet takes the Rift Herald. I think this is a decent pickup, but I'm not sure if Rift Herald is worth giving over that second dragon to the side of Monkey's Doom here.
Yeah, I think this Rift Herald more than anything is denial against monkeys. It's a little bit of both. It's get what you can, but we're also going to deny it from them. It's much better in the hands of monkeys. They have a better split push comp than Neogen
Yeah,
does, right?
definitely.
I do agree that Dragon would have been more beneficial for Neogen, but this isn't a terrible alternative. As you see now, wave states are just trying to get figured out again. A bit of a push down towards the bot side. Vuso's going to pick those minions up to funnel a little extra gold there. But the thing that worries me is look at this vision control fight. The entire top side of the map, Neogen, lit up in blue. Entire bottom side of the map, lit up in red. Both sides, respectively, are really working hard to have vision in either side of this map.
Yeah, and I think it kind of reflects exactly where the gold is. The Sivir is actually a bit more accelerated than I anticipated getting. Plus the Thresh, 3-1 with 6 assists. The Thresh has already got his boots finished, and he's got the Trailblazer. They are just lying in wait to try to pick Vuso. I think Vuso's a little bit suspicious of this. He knows that he cleared out this vision. He knew that they spotted him on those wards at his tower. He's just kind of playing back, but I think if he gives up this wave, which of course Aurora able to clear the wave with 1E, um, it's a bit of a wasted time down here for the side of Monkey's Doom. They were hoping that Vuso was going to make the mistake of walking up, but plays smart, plays back, plays safe. He knows that he was spotted on that vision. Good heads up play there from Vuso.
Yeah, I agree. He played it safe. That was very smart. The one thing I do like, though, I will say about what Monkey's Doom is doing, their support and jungle are really linking up a lot right now. Really trying to find plays around the map together and working as a team. Something that we don't really see as much all the time, except for, we'll hold that thought, bit of an engage into the mid lane here. A lot of CC goes down onto that Thresh, but somehow he's able to walk it out with that flash. I thought he was definitely dead to rights there, and Neogen ends up actually busting a lot of important spells to try to make that happen, and they do not get anything.
I mean, it's not terrible. Verisult is I think it's better used as a pick tool than it is in a team fight regardless. So trying to find that pick on Thresh, or at least forcing him to back, does give them a little bit of breathing room to try to shove in this mid wave, but you're never going to push against the Sivir. The boomerang and the ricochets are just too much to actually siege into, especially when they don't really have much other range otherwise. Look at this. Talia finds the angle, stops Band Director. Paki has to actually flash, but they are going to be safe from this. And actually, the entire team of Neogen shows up. 2 TPs from Vuso and Prophet. They are here, and Cuddle is there as well. They find the pick onto the Thresh. He has no flash, no tools to escape. That's going to be a huge team fight win. A lot of summoners, though, invested into this fight for only that 1 kill. There's no other objectives to really take here. Neogen investing a lot into that 1 kill, and they just leave Olaf to shove in that bot wave into the tower. And I don't know, Poppy, again, I think that this is a little bit of a loss for Neogen. They need to make more use of these plays when they invest that much. They've got to force something, because monkeys are, in each one of these plays, they're kind of going even or slightly positive, and they're crawling their way back into this game. They're only down 1k gold approximately right now, even though the kills are slightly on the side of Neogen. Monkeys kind of slowed this game down, and they're finding some ways back into this.
Yeah, all of that for a Thresh may not have been worth it. And if this was 30, 40 seconds later that fight took place and they found that pick, they'd be happy. You got Dragon and Atacon that are going to be coming up here shortly. I definitely agree with you. I think you just popped off a little too hard, a little too early, right? They just didn't need to invest so much, especially after Band was safe. He was able to jump back to Packy under the tower. He didn't get hit by the rupture, but hold that. We're having another fight taking place here. This game is bloody, and it's starting off big. Warlock on the Xin, going hard onto Band Director, trying to find the kill. Prophet on the back end is going to end up dying and falling with a good TP coming through. It's not looking good, but this Olaf wants more. He just activates his Ragnarok, and he's looking for more kills, but he does not get any procs on his ultimate, and his invulnerability does wear off. Now he's trying to run and get away. Hacksax and Cuddlebun are trying to find the kill, and Vuso over the side, big ultimate to find the kill, but he gets popped on the back end there. He ends up losing his life as well. Hacksax and Cuddlebun don't want to let them get this dragon, but it does fall to the side of Monkey, and they're going to be really happy with that engagement.
Again, I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about. Too much investment from Neogen in that previous play. What happens there? Cuddle has to go respond to the Olaf push into the tier 2 on the top side of the map, but Olaf has his TP and his Ghost available for that fight. He TPs right in as soon as they find the engagement. He's able to run down Prophet before they even start the dragon fight. Unfortunately for Monkeys, they make an incorrect play there. I think the Olaf kind of goes in a little too far. I mean, they're still happy to pick to find the dragon that puts them on soul point. But I do think that overall, much better outcome for Monkeys, and they've actually now tied up the gold in this game. Does look like Neogen is going to be able to sneak this Atacon away. The Monkeys is pinging it, but the damage is there, I think, for Neogen. They're going to be able to sneak this out and walk away. Happy to at least take that Atacon away from them on the backside of that fight, but this has turned into quite the close game, and really still a bloodbath. 21 minutes into the game, we've got 30 kills on the board.
Yeah, that's a great pickup though for Neogen, sneaking that. Really got a great timer on the back, and everybody just funneled down there. Got the damage onto that Atacon, and that's a really huge pickup, especially with how that last fight went. Monkeys was just not fast enough to get to that objective, and really good from Neogen there. Also used that Herald as bait in the mid lane to try and maybe pull a little bit of attention away. But we might actually see a face check. Olaf does walk into the bush. He's activated his Ragnarok, but he does not have the damage to take Cuddle. And Vuso definitely has the damage to kill that Olaf. Muffins, one more kill, Olaf. One more kill, and you get that medal. But hold that. We're having another fight taking place here. Xin Zhao does find Band. Caught sleeping a little bit on that engagement. Really nice hook by the Thresh, but he goes a little too deep under the tower. He gets burned up and ends up actually turning that play into a little bit of a loss for the side of Monkeys, I think. They lose a lot of pressure by diving that deep.
That's always the bitch of playing Thresh, right? You land the hook, and it's like playing Lee Sin. You land the hook, it's so good. You just kind of have to follow it. There's like something in the minds of Thresh and Lee Sin players that you land the skill shot and you just have to follow it. You know it's going to turn out poorly, but you're like, man, that was sick. I got to follow this up.
Yeah, but look here,
Xin
we have
Zhao.
another fight.
God, it's just constant fighting this game, Poppy. We can't even get a breath in. We can't even take a minute to look at the last play before they're already fighting again.
Yeah, and I mean Xin Zhao, this guy is uber aggressive. He charges on every single play. But look out here, Paxx,
Oh,
nice flash forward to dodge that. That was actually really well done, but the Sivir does end up getting the kill. Prophet finds a stun onto Sivir and puts her in the ground. Will they get more? Thresh, nice hook, does catch Prophet under the tower, and they're able to wrangle him in and find a kill. Cuttlebun now fighting in the top lane, trying to run away. But again, Monkey coming out a little bit the better. They end up getting this tier 1 in the mid lane. They're going to be happy here.
that was a great heads up flash from Packy. It's just unfortunate that his options were between a rock and a hard place. Oh my god, the Vuso damage is
Oh,
absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. He blows them up immediately, but they just don't have any more follow-up for that. It is going to stop the push, clear the wave and stop the push, but yeah, I mean, Packy, he does this aggressive flash forward to dodge the whatever the knockback is called on Talia, the shove, but seismic shove, but the he has to flash into the team and he just ends up getting chopped up by the Sivir anyway.
yeah, great play though right there at the tail end of that by Vuso. I gotta say, his mechanics were looking really clean. He's been playing really great this game, 9-3 on this Aurora, and his damage is not lacking. He's a serious threat that Monkeys has to really contend with, because if he finds them bunched up, his AoE damage alongside that with Rumble could absolutely like one-shot their entire team.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if they don't fight with Cuddle and Vuso, I think they're gonna lose. I think the 3v3 or 4v4 when they only have one of the two members of either Cuddle or Vuso, it's just not enough damage right now. Packy is a little too far behind, and Pantheon just has not quite enough burst damage to knock out a target with these picks. They need Vuso and Cuddle's damage stacked on top. They need those AoE magic damage ultimates in order to cut through Monkey, and they haven't really had a fight like that except for that one fight they had in mid lane. But Prophet's gonna face check, trying to find out where they are. Band Director hits a nice ultimate. Vuso with a great ult on top, but the Olaf is just running him down. He does get away with his invisibility. Cuddle tries to go in and burn them down, but they just don't have quite enough damage on these fights, and that's gonna be Soul over to Monkey's Doom.
Yeah, that was a really big mistake made by Neogen on just setup. They did not get to the objective quick enough and group together to really get control of those bushes and be able to contest those objectives coming. And Monkey, to their credit, they were there and they were ready and they capitalized. This is something we've seen Neogen do before, and it's one of the points that they've continued to work on over the weeks. But it's a sore spot, right? Not doing your due diligence to work as a team to find the vision and get there prior to the objective spawning. Now you're seeing the Baron is potentially going to fall, and I think Neogen's just going to end up having to give it. They have no idea it's going on. They're trying to chase this poor Olaf around, who's really making it hard for them. He's doing a little bit of Bowsian tech right now,
Oh
and he might.
no.
Oh,
Oh.
thank God they got him. I was about to say, if he got out that teleport, that would have been a demoralizer right there.
Yeah, I Soul and Baron here from Monkey's Doom, they have really turned this game around quickly. They've prioritized these dragon fights, they've set up the vision, they've found the picks when they need to. I don't think Neogen's been able to take a solid 5v5 fight the way they want to with these stacked ultimates. The only fight that they did this was when they did the double TP into mid lane and they picked the Thresh, but it was just too early and they haven't found a good fight before these objective fights in order to really turn this game around. And I'm kind of worried right now. They've got to find a way back into this.
Yeah, Neogen definitely now is on the back foot here. After that Baron take, it has really flipped the script a little bit. I do feel like Monkey's Doom has the tempo, right? I think both teams are still even enough to where, you can, it just depends on how these team fights get played. Neither one is going to guaranteed win if they come into a skirmish. But right now, it's unfortunate. They've really let Monkeys get back into this game by just a series of mistakes as well as just over calculations on fights. And now you're seeing an engage. Sivir pops the ultimate to try to find Vuso here. They really want to find her, but Vuso is able to flash that grab from Thresh. Really nice job there getting away and getting to safety. Right now, the name of the game is just wave control. They don't want to really give up too much here. Just got to wait this Baron out and don't get picked. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, thankfully Olaf doesn't have the Baron, so Cuddle is able to pretty easily match him, but it's this bot lane that I'm worried about. Vuso, no flash. He does have his ultimate up, but the Thresh is just fishing for hooks right now. They've got to be careful about this vision that they don't have in their jungle. They're walking into a dark jungle with Baron minions pushing in. If the Thresh finds a pick, if the Talia finds a knockback, it's over. But Vuso finds the angle. He sees that the Sivir gets chunked out, and he goes in with the ultimate. Prophet is able to follow up with an ult on the backside, and they do find the pick on the Talia. Zinzao tries to go in, but he gets knocked up and then stunned by Band Director on the Braum, and this is a great fight for Neogen. They fight back hard and fast. They see the Sivir gets chunked out by the Varus, and they find the fight that they need to stop this bleeding. Olaf rotates mid and finds the second tier tower, but Cuddle's able to stop any more bleeding before that. That is a good heads up play, and Vuso is looking for more actually on this Thresh.
Yeah, Vuso's damage was crazy there, too. He initially chunked out that Sivir really, really hard, and they're going to find another pick on him. Stunned down onto the Thresh, and they are definitely going to pick up a kill here. That's a pick Thresh as well with a disjointed timer. He's got a full 25 seconds off of the screen before the rest of his team is going to be up. That's really nice for Neogen to help get back some tempo and get these wave states in a spot that they're going to like them a lot better. Really great stuff from Neogen. Capitalize on that, the overextension there in that bot side.
Yeah, this is really solid play. They've evened the gold out. They've stopped this Baron from being any more push into their base. They've kind of nullified the game from that play. And now it's about setting up the vision as a team of 5. They need to get this vision control in their jungle. They need to get the vision control set up for this upcoming Elder Dragon in about 2.5 minutes. That is the next objective. That is the next play. They need to play it safe until then. They need to find that vision and make sure that they can take these 5v5 team fights the way that they want to.
Yeah, but look here. They've already pulled the Olaf. He's already reset, and Monkeys is moving together now to start trying to find vision control this early into the bot side of the map. This is the big objective coming up, and Neogen not really doing anything with it. Still trying to play a little bit of wave management and wave control, but they don't know exactly where Monkeys is at. And as they take longer to get grouped up and find vision, Monkeys gets a more solid hold on this portion of the jungle and river. This is exactly what Neogen needs to do, but Monkeys is doing it better.
Okay, this is the window right here. They need to go in as 5. Olaf has to go respond to this wave in top side. He does have his TP. It just came back up, but they are looking to find the vision right now. But they don't have it. They don't have... Do they have a scanner right now? Do they... It looks like only Vuso has his scanner up. Prophets just came back up. They don't have any more control wards. They need to secure this vision and do it now.
And it does look like Taki throws out the ult there and misses wide. That's a really unfortunate cooldown to have. And now it looks like they got to try to force something.
We got to do something.
Olaf. The Olaf is just free pushing on this top side, but Monkeys doesn't want to let him have it. And now Olaf is taking a teleport into the back.
There it is. Vuso goes in.
Big fight taking place. Vuso tries to find the damage, but he ends up getting cut down by the Talia. Prophet comes over on the side of the wall, but watch out on the back end. There is just a rampaging Olaf cutting down the team with a Xin Zhao in tow. Prophet tries to find the... Oh, no. He tried to get out of there with the ultimate, but he just could not. That was really well played by the Olaf. Really put a lot of pressure in the top side. Teleports behind Neogen, and it's just a split fight turns into disaster.
So I mean, this is exactly what they needed to not do. They needed to be able to find this fight the way they wanted to, and Monkey's Doom just played it so well, right? They had their line of vision, they stuck to it, and they kited away, and they forced Vuso to try to take this aggressive fight early when he was by himself, and he gets picked. Even though he gets his ultimate down, he's not able to do much else with it. It's exactly how Monkey's Doom wanted that fight to go. Poppy, what is Neogen's out here now? I mean, they are about to lose their at least one inhib. They've got a turtle up.
Yeah, it's objectives, though. You can't let them get Elder Baron. I mean, this is a death sentence if they get Elder and Baron here. You might be able to trade one or the other. Vuso trying to find a kill onto Olaf, but that Olaf does not take a lot of damage now, and Vuso's running for the hills. He really cannot die here. If Vuso dies, this is really, really bad. Prophet, with the hero moment again, comes in from the Grand Skyfall, and he does find the pick. Cuttlebun doing a lot of damage onto that Sivir. This is really good for Neogen. Right now, though,
yes, Prophet.
Yeah, the waves don't look good, though. If you look on the map, they are just crashing in on the top and mid, but Vuso has back to catch those waves.
It
Now,
doesn't
there's
matter.
still
They
an
have to.
engagement taking place. Cuddle trying to find damage onto the Zinzao, who charges in. Paxax, he's gotten a lot of stacks, and he is firing on all cylinders,
Come
trying
on,
to find the
Packy. Come on,
damage.
Packy. Get him.
There we go. There we go.
Yes.
Packy,
Yes.
Packy, Packy, Packy. When the world needed him most, he showed up.
Let's go.
Unlike Tuesday, but he came in clutch. That's a gigantic ace on the side of Neogen, and they're going to transition that into Elder. Let's go.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. That was amazing. Vuso finds the pick onto the Olaf. He kites him away. They get the rest of Monkey's Doom to come in and try to save the Olaf, but it's too late. They find the fight that they need. They force them out when they're too weak, and they get to secure the Elder Dragon. This is a massive swing back in the side of Neogen. They're able to save the wave enough. You see Vuso actually back there. He stops the super minions from pushing, immediately TPs back into that fight and helps them turn that. But Packy, he's online. He's got all 4 items he need. The Wits in, the Ginsus, the Blade of the Ruined King, the Terminus. He's a machine gun now. He just chopped through the team there, and he's able to stand behind his team, do what he needs to. That is their way out now. Vuso sets up the fights, and Packy is going to just chop them down. This Elder Dragon is going to make or break this game right now.
Yeah, and now is the time again for Neogen to get together, get this mid and top wave secured. Look at this. Look at where Monkey is positioning. They're positioning to try to push down the bottom side of the map, but Baron is up right now. And this is actually really big for Neogen. If they get this objective here with 0 contest from Monkey, what are they doing? Neogen's going to be able to get back in time for this. Monkey won't even be able to potentially get inhib off of this. They might get the tower, but I don't think they can even get the inhib right here. This is actually a gigantic miscalculation, I think, on the side of Monkey. Neo's going to take this fight, and if they wipe them, this is going to be the game right here. Profit with the engage, but they are running for the hills. They do not want to take this fight, and look at that. That inhib stayed alive. That's a huge win for Neogen.
Absolutely crucial timing right there for Neogen. They know that they have the damage. If they don't have Varus there, if they don't have Packy, they don't take that Baron. The damage from Packy there, that's like a 25-second Baron. They chop the Baron down, and they're able to back with those empowered recalls, able to defend their inhib, and Monkey's Doom almost throws the game right there. They leave half a second later. That's an ace, and they march down mid lane and take the game with the Baron minions. Neogen, this is on a knife's edge right now. I do just want to go over to the chat after that fight because we've got a lot of stuff popping off in chat. Husky Clan Leader subscribing with Prime. Thank you so much for that, Husky Clan Leader. Really appreciate you showing up for us on that. We must be playing Counter-Strike with the amount of trading going on 100%. Remy says, I guess my medal isn't going to Olaf, but it actually is. He's got 8 deaths.
Hold that
on.
right now. It's about to get crazy.
Yeah, I got to stop, though. Olaf is pushing down that bot lane. He's trying to go for the inhib. They do find the engage on the Packy in the back line, but Cuddle is there to help chop him down. It doesn't matter. Packy flashes away. He's safe. He just makes it out alive. Vuso on the front line with his ultimate. Olaf is trying to get this inhib down. He's going in for the inhib tower, or for the Nexus towers. Packy is there, but he runs right at Packy. Vuso is there to try to stop him, but they stop the backs. This is a completely disjointed fight. Cuddle has got to get out. They've got to stop this Olaf from pushing into their base. I think they've stymied the bleeding for now. Packy does unfortunately go down in that fight, and it's a 2-for-1 for the side of Neogen. But that's a pretty heads-up play for Monkeys to try to find this cheeky flank and stop the Baron minion push. Sorry, Poppy. I was trying to get a brief breath of fresh air so I could interact with chat, and they just run it down mid.
This game is wild, Muffins. The action taking place on this map is insane right now. I mean, if you got anxiety, this is not the match to watch right now, is all I'm saying. You might go into a spiral after watching this one. I mean, there is just action after action. We are getting into late game here, real late game. And this game, like you said, is on a knife's edge. It could flip at any moment. It does look like mid inhib has now came back for the side of Neogen, which means top should be following shortly behind. This is just the next objective. It looks like both teams have cooled down now, and they are just playing for this next set of objectives. Whoever gets this next Elder Dragon, it's almost like a guaranteed win with how strong Elder 2 is. I mean, this is going to have to be the play, right?
Yeah, they're trying to set up this vision now. Band director trying to get in here and grab a couple of wards. The Jin Zhao is trying to also grab this ward. He does get the scuttle crab over there. While we've still got a bit of a brief second here, I just wanted to go back to the chat. Syncry coming in with a 5 tier 1 gifted subs. Thank you so much,
Woo!
Syncry. Really appreciate that. That's huge. Thanks for supporting the channel and getting some of our boys in here, some subs. That's awesome. I gotta say the chat is popping off. The people are loving this. This is some great league right here. This game could go either way right now, and I really hope it goes for the side of our boys Neogen. But Monkey's Doom have really played a super strong game here, and they have fought tooth and nail to stay in this game when I thought it wasn't going to go that way early on. I do want to just mention briefly that Richie has popped into the chat saying the whole enemy team has got Poppy's medal of inting, the medal of the Iver medal of failure. They all have 7 deaths except for the Thresh. Love that. I wonder if Thresh is going to make that 5 for 5 on the side of Monkey's Doom for this game 1 medal of Iver medal of failures.
Yeah, congratulations, monkeys. You guys are going to be taking home some hardware tonight. But you are seeing a fight potentially breaking out. Vuso pops the ult, but that might have been a bit preemptive there, and nothing really comes from that. Now, the counter engage is taking place. They flash onto Band Director to find the pick, and he does go down. This is going to be really bad. Olaf causing some problems behind the Nexus.
Why is Olaf back here?
I'm not sure exactly what he's doing, but he ends up getting cut down. Will this be good or bad for the side of Monkeys? I can't really tell. He might have just trolled that fight. If he didn't do that, it's possible that Monkeys could have just ended the game. But now, Monkeys end up on the back foot, running away, trying to get to that objective. An interesting set of plays right there. I'm not really sure what to say about that Olaf Muffins.
Yeah, I'm not either. So here's the oh no, they find the pick onto Packy. This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. Neogen tried to just go in and get the vision, but Thresh finding the hook onto Prophet. They're just doing what they can, but without Packy, they've got no damage. They've got supers pushing in there. They've got all 3 inhibs down. They've got to save. I think this is going to be it. I think this is going to be it. That small mistake, they tried to face check and see if they were on Elder, and unfortunately, I'm not sure that they can hold this Vuso. You've got to do your best. It's Vuso and Band Director against the entire team of Monkey's Doom. They flash in. It's a great he finds 2. Is he going to get 3? They've got to stop the push. They've got to stop the push. Vuso, please. Oh, it's a huge knockup. Oh my God. It's 2 versus 4, and Vuso's going crazy right now. Please stay alive, Vuso. Okay, the stun.
Oh
but
no,
Olaf
Vuso
is here.
goes
He's
down.
going to try to knock down the tower. Vuso doing God's work. He's trying to save the game, but it's just not enough. What a phenomenal game 1. Poppy, if this is anything like what game 2 and game 3 are going to be like, we are in for an absolutely crazy series here.
Yeah,
Vuso,
this is a best of 3, so let's hope it's like this. But goes Neogen's way, game 2. This could be a quick 2-0 if Monkey's Doom keeps playing that good. Vuso, though, really with a hero play on the end right there, Muffins. I mean, I thought he was about to just do something spectacular, and he did, but it just wasn't enough with the Olaf coming back. Monkey's Doom does end up taking the game here. Neogen goes down a game in this series. Wow, what a round.
I feel like I need to just like step outside for a minute. That was absolutely crazy. Vuso nearly saved that. He just didn't quite have enough damage. Band Director gets this super good knock up on the ultimate, and it's just like not quite enough damage from Vuso. But otherwise, what a defense that they tried to mount there. And unfortunate for Neogen, they just have to face check because they're afraid of them taking that Elder Dragon, and they pay for it. But Poppy, I got to take a quick break. Everybody else, we've got to take a quick break. Thank you guys so much for being here for this stream, week 2 of Titans. We are going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. Grab a drink, hit the bathroom, and we will be right back with some more, Titan game 2 here with Neogen Xenos versus Monkey's Doom.
Sonic Radio. CIO coming to you live from the red carpet, and here comes the star of the summer, sweet topped lemonade from Sonic. Wow, looking delicious as always. Tell us, what are you wearing?
Oh, this? Just a little blueberry lavender number. I was going for something tart and sweet.
Incredible! And is that cold foam on top? So chic. I wouldn't mind taking a sip of that.
Dude.
Wait, that came out wrong.
Try sweet top lemonades from Sonic. Live free, eat Sonic. Limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
This Friday, the deadliest warriors become the greatest prey.
We must fight together.
Witness the next evolution of the Predator universe. From the director of Prey.
What happens if we survive?
Predator, Killer of Killers. Rated R for strong bloody violence and gore and language. Streaming Friday only on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I hope everyone had a nice little break, grabbed a drink, went to the bathroom, maybe even had to smoke a cig. Who knows what you had to do after that one? That was a stressful game one, but what a banger that we got from game one of this series here against Monkey's Doom. And we're getting right into it, guys. It looks like the draft has already started here for game two of this series. Neogen Xenos taking the Swain out again. Monkey's Doom not going to let Cuddle get that Urgot, and they definitely don't want to see Profit on that dirty dog.
Dirty dog. Surely not. I mean, the Fury's just so strong right now. So strong right now. Too much playmaking ability. Too much ability to run a game. You know, I also think it's kind of interesting. Neogen elects to take red side here.
Yeah, they want to get that counter pick. It looks like you definitely get the secured counter, most likely going towards the top side. Let Cuddle get something that's really going to dominate the lane. We've seen time and time again, when Cuddle Bun gets ahead, he's a force to be reckoned with, and he can really carry a game. Has a lot of carry potential from that top lane. So I think it makes sense. Neogen wants to get back onto that side of the map for this game two and try to find maybe a different strategy than game one, even though game one really well played. Neogen really firing on all cylinders. Oh, Monkey's Doom, though, look at this trickery. They leave the Ziggs up and they pick it first pick, so Packy Sacks does not get to play it.
Yeah, and for those who are, it's maybe your first time here, um, Packy, number one Ziggs in A. Absolute menace on the Ziggs. And as I think most people who know League, Ziggs is just like, it's kind of a snoozer pick, but it's also incredibly strong. It is just a tower taking fiend, sieging fiend. It's a really strong bot lane pick. It does swap out 80, 80 carry solid DPS for instead just a super strong siege. But Rumi saying, don't disrespect him like that. Look, I got to throw a little disrespect on the Ziggs one trick, okay? I have to. Um, but Ziggs, you're swapping out that consistent DPS for a super strong siege and a really strong ability to take towers and objectives. And on the side of Neogen, Poppy, we're seeing the Amumu Caitlyn.
Yeah, we saw Prophet on the Amumu a couple weeks back, and he had a tough early game, but then he came out swinging in the mid to late game, was hitting multi-man ultimates, and was absolutely 2v1ing the enemy team. Amumu's damage is crazy. I'm really excited to see him pilot this one again. The Caitlyn, I know Paxax is very proficient on Caitlyn, but it's a pick that right now I don't know how strong it is in the meta. I've seen a lot of Caitlyn's played and not a lot of success from it, especially when you start going up against the likes of a Dr. Mundo, who is just going to be able to run right to you and you just don't do any damage to him. Mundo is a really, really scary character right now. And I know Monkey's Doom does prioritize this. So this is a little scary that they do get the pickup on it on this round two. Most likely going, I would say it's a flexible pick though, right? It can go top or it can go jungle muffins.
Yeah, yeah, this is already looking really strong for Monkey's Doom. They've got the Mundo as this super beefy front line, and like you said, regardless of where it goes, jungle or top lane, Mundo is just going to be a massive, massive front line. And Caitlyn, not really a tank buster type of AD carry. She's more of this kind of consistent strong poke and good siege AD carry. She kind of is like a jack of all trades, right? She has decent DPS. She's got pretty decent burst with her Yordle traps and her Q. But you're not going to chop through a Dr. Mundo the same way that Packy did last game on that on hit Varus build. And they're going to round out the bot lane with this Karma pick.
Yeah, I like this pick coming in for band here. A Karma Caitlyn lane sounds just oppressive to deal with. This
Yeah,
really gives them a lot of priority in the bot side of the map and a really strong winning lane, which I think is really going to be good. Last game it was a very lackadaisical lane on both sides, right? Both just wanted to just go ahead and push waves, and that was really about it. This time now, Neogen really wants to find the aggression and find the range to have complete control, and I do like that. It'll help secure some dragons and not allow Monkey's Doom to be able to dragon stack like last game.
for sure. Absolutely, for sure. I think this bot lane of the Caitlyn Karma is going to try to go for this super punishing bot lane presence, try to choke out the bot lane of Monkey's Doom, and set up Neogen for better dragon stacking this game. Absolutely, I think that's the case. Um, Second round of bans came out. Neogen really, really punishing the top lane picks. They've banned out the Renekton and the Volibear. It's kind of interesting for them to ban those out. They don't know where this Mundo's going yet, and they're just prioritizing banning out the top lane. While the side of Monkey's Doom, they're banning out Syndra from Vuso as well as the Gwen. Um, and then Neogen locks in the Yone. Yone, that is going to be your damage source. Caitlyn, sure, some decent DPS, but Yone is going to be the one who's going to chop down this Mundo.
Yeah, I like this pick coming out with the Yone. I have not seen Vuso on this too much though. Over the course of all these games we've casted, only a couple of Yone games, if that. Definitely going to be interesting to see how this one gets piloted. As you do see, a Lucian does get picked up on the side of Monkey's Doom. Lucian Milio, notoriously strong lane, helps Lucian stay active in these lanes where he does not have the range to really contend. That Milio does give him the range buff, so I do like this pickup. Nice synergy coming out there. And we'll have to see here what is Monkey's Doom going to pick up on their last pick of the draft. It is going to be the Aatrox going into the top lane. Another strong brawler. Um, Pretty good picks on Monkey's Doom.
I'm not sure I fully agree with the Lucian pick here. I do think that the Lucian Milio is decent synergy, and it will help sort of curb some of the aggression from the Caitlyn onto the short range Lucian AD carry pick. But I just don't. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that Milio cooldown for the auto attack range kind of long?
It's definitely a pretty sizable cooldown, especially early on. It's not going to be able to be used just, back back to back.
Yeah, I feel like
It's
that
going to take a
trading
little time.
pattern is going to be tough for the Lucian. I think the Caitlyn Karma abuse is going to just overpower this Lucian trade every 20 seconds with the Melio plus maybe a press the attack. I think Caitlyn Karma are going to be able to really abuse this Lucian in the bot lane. And we do see a Kennen locked in for Cuddle in the top lane. I also have not seen this pick very often either. Super, super strong team fight though. The Amumu layering with the Kennen ult and the Yone ult to scoop them all up. That's going to be a really, really strong team fight for Neogen.
Yeah, I like the Kennen pickup against Aatrox. You play the range matchup, and Aatrox really does struggle if he can't close that gap and hit those sweet spots on the queue. This is a really nice pickup from Neogen. Again, I think it just comes down to how you pilot it, though, right? Neogen needs to find these big team fights and these nice flank angles for Kennen to be able to come in and be that secondary follow
Mhm.
up after a Mumu dumps his ult. And then Yon just picks up the scraps with Caitlyn and Karma. I'm a little concerned again because I do think it takes a lot of setup, right? We saw game one,
Yep.
the setup was on the side of Monkey's Doom. They were there and at the objectives and where they needed to be before Neogen a lot of the times. This is a game where Neo's going to have that vision control to be able to find these big flank TP team fights and just blow monkeys out of the water.
Yeah, Neogen doesn't really have anyone to soak up that face check damage other than the Amumu. And if Profit goes down on the Amumu, that's most of their team fight, most of their engage, most of their objective control. So if Monkey's Doom is able to set up early, with the Ziggs bomb, with the Aatrox sweet spots, with the Melio knockbacks, with the Mundo running at you with the cleavers, they have a lot of like easy, quick firing projectiles to just completely nullify a single member from Neogen. But as you said, if Neogen can find that right engage, they do have they're kind of in the driver's seat. Neogen is. They've got the ultimates to really pull the trigger and find these fights when they want to, as long as they have the ability to find that vision. I think otherwise, Monkey's Doom is going to come out on the top of some of these skirmishes, especially early on. Lucian, notoriously an extremely strong early to mid game champ. Ziggs, not so much, but certainly offers quite a bit of DPS still with his bombs. Mundo, super strong early to mid game in this jungle. And then Aatrox, also a really, really strong team fight champ, especially in these early to sort of mid skirmishes. I do think that this is going to be another one of those where there's going to be some early fighting happening, trying to find these early leads. And Neogen is going to have to kind of patiently wait for the Yone and the Caitlyn to come online, I think, before they're able to really win over these fights pretty decidedly.
Yeah, I think the scaling is definitely pretty big for Neogen. Yone, once he hits 3 items, is just an absolute monster in a side
Yeah.
lane. And you just can't do anything against him, especially even like Mundo will just get chopped up. So Ziggs is a sitting duck also for a fed Yone or a late game Yone. So I really like the Yone pick from Neogen here. I think this is one to keep your eye on. Let's see how Vuso pilots this Yone. Again, it's not something I've seen him play a ton. He prefers his mages for sure. So this is going to be an interesting pick, but one that I think could work out really, really well when piloted correctly. I think right now the name of the game is they need to go even or ahead in top side. Cuddle doesn't need to go crazy. He just needs to farm up and not allow the Aatrox to run rampant. let the Yone scale and win the bot lane. If you can do that, I think it's going to be a pretty good and easy game for Neogen transitioning into that mid to late game. But the right things just have to take place. You can't give early kills to the Aatrox. You can't give early kills to the Lucian.
Yeah, I just want to pop over to the chat real quick. Remy saying Lucian Milio scares me. I agree. Lucian Milio is scary, especially if the Lucian picks up any sort of early kills. If he gets in these skirmishes and picks up a single kill or a double kill, a couple of assists, that Lucian Milio could go kind of crazy. However, if Packy and Band Director are able to just kind of shut down the Lucian and keep him at his tower, that is going to be the best way for them to win these early skirmishes. Force the Lucian into taking fights that he doesn't want to, and then punishing him for his lack of range and his low HP bars. They need to just keep the pressure up in the bot lane, keep their vision going so that the Mundo can't run them down, and just kind of have Prophet sort of hover around the bot side of the map, taking the dragons and hovering around ready to set these things up. I think, like you said, the Kennen Aatrox matchup, you kind of just want to let Kennen farm with his Q, farm with his auto attacks, and leave that as sort of a stalemate, because the Kennen is going to offer so much more when they go even versus the Aatrox. Yone also just going to probably be farming against the Ziggs. A lot of this action is going to happen in the bot side of the map. I also just wanted to take a brief moment to pop over and just remind everyone who's here. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate the support. I saw that we got up to like 20 something viewers at the end of that last game and into the break. Absolutely love the support, love the hype, love everybody showing up. I hope you're really enjoying the stream. I hope you're enjoying the action. Hope you're enjoying the casting. It's been super fun so far. Game 1 was awesome. Game 2 is going to be even better, I'm sure. And if you haven't seen, Remy's popped in the chat a couple of times now the link to our Discord as well as a link to our merch. Go ahead and click on those links. Just go check it out. You know, even just checking it out is super, super helpful. Get us some traffic on the merch site. Get us some traffic in the Discord. We would love to have you guys come hop in there, come check us out, and let us know if there's anything that you want to see, anything you want to be a part of. We would love to hear from you guys. But otherwise, Poppy, I think we've got just a short little bit here, and then we are going to be into the game.
I can't wait for this one, Muffins. I mean, game one was such a banger on the knife's edge the entire game. It was just so bloody from the first minute. I mean, I think it was what 5-4 at minute 2 after that level 1 engagement.
Mm,
I'm really
It
excited to
was
see how
crazy.
this one ends up going. Maybe we'll see some more level 1 shenanigans. I think that might be a little more tame of a level 1. Both sides lack the CC that they had from their respective champions prior. So we'll end up having to see how this one does go. But here we go, folks. Game 2 in this best of 3 series, Neogen Esports versus Monkey's Doom is about to take place. Let's go, Neo.
Really interesting here. I just noticed, Poppy, that the Mundo took Flash, not Ghost. That's going to really limit his team fighting ability. I think that's kind of interesting. I mean, surely his ult is going to be very strong, but hey, look at this, Poppy. We've got a they're walking in, 4 going top side. Kennen is going to spot him out. Cuddle on the Kennen is going to spot him out with that easy little pixel brush ward there, and he's going to try to get out, but he walks down. He's going to have to take his E first to get out of there, and dodges another cleaver, able to get out of there, and they're just going to walk in and grab some vision, early vision at the top side of the map and try to spot out where Prophet's pathing is going to go. Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see them doing that. They are going to try to walk in here, clear this vision out. Some early
Yeah.
clearing. Really
Good
good
move
for
getting
them
that
there.
scanner there on Profit. Does end up taking out those early wards. So now they're not going to know exactly where Profit starts. I do like that. Looks like Ziggs is trying to get some intel again, though, here. Trying to find that ward onto the Raptors. And it does look like he will find it. But again, made him utilize a lot of early wards there.
Look
And
at
now
this.
Ziggs is down
Look
that
at
as
this.
well.
Look at
Yeah,
this.
Band
They
and
know they're
Packy.
there. They've got that middle brush ward. They don't really they know Band Director's in there.
Yeah, definitely
He's
interesting
got the ult.
here.
He's got the ult Q, the Mantra Q. Just takes out the bone plating from Milio there. Decent little chunk of health, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, just, they're poking like you'd expect. Cuddle goes electrified and just touches the Aatrox really quick, just to say, "Hey, man, zip zap, I'm here."
Zippity zappity.
A little zippity zappity onto the Aatrox. But this is what you want to see. You want to see Cuddle. He's
Oh my
using
god.
interesting move. I've never seen level 1 E on a Kennen before, and I'm actually liking it with that electrocute. He did proc it
He's
there
so
onto
much
the Aatrox.
damage.
Yeah, that was nice. That was
This
nice.
this trading pattern from Cuddle on the Kennen with the electrocute is going to be so much damage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
look
mean,
at this. Look at this early abuse from Packy. This is just what I was talking about.
yeah, this is what you want to see in the bot lane right now. You really want to abuse the Caitlyn Karma, who have a lot of sustained long-range damage, and just whittle down this Millia Lucian lane as best as possible. And there it is again, another nice empowered Q coming out from the Karma, and they're pushing him right into the tower.
Little bit of a not a lot happening. Prophet just kind of waltzing through mid here. Just said, "Hey, what's up?" to the Ziggs, and keeps waddling his way to the bot side of the map. Not a
Yeah,
ton going on right now. We've got some pings looking for the Scuttle Crab on the bot side of the map. Um, just want to state here that the junglers have both gone for, oh my god, the damage with that electrocute, but the Aatrox looking for a flash engage there on the Chains of Corruption. Cuddle is down a level right now. Has to sort of concede that, but the cannon damage is going pretty crazy.
yeah, that level up was really unfortunate though, right there for Cuddle. That Aatrox being able to hit level 4 right there nullified a lot of that damage that he did, and they end up both having to expel their flash there. Aatrox does have a bit of a lead now into this top side, unfortunately.
We sort of panned off the screen right there, but Vuso did have to burn flash. That Mundo walked into the lane with red buff, and Ziggs hit him with a mine to set up an easy gank for Warlock on the Mundo, and Vuso just has to burn flash. He just doesn't really want to have to back immediately and burn his TP. So he just takes the flash, trades the flash for his health so he can stay in lane and keep his wave state better. But the Mundo and Prophet mirrored each other on their jungle pathing, so they were both on the bot side of the map, but Prophet gets to the Scuttle Crab first and gets to take that one, so Mundo just runs straight top side, and kind of an even state right now for junglers on both sides.
Yeah, that Mundo was able to steal the Raptor camp there from Prophet,
Oh.
which just is a testament to how quickly Mundo clears. Even in a Mumu with all that AoE shred, it still cannot out-clear the Mundo cleavers. Really good play there from Warlock, and that will set Prophet slightly behind.
Poppy, look at this lead that Packy has in the bot lane. He's just gotten a tower plate, and he's up nearly 15 CS, about 2 waves worth onto this Lucian. Around 300 gold difference just right there between the two bot laners. That is a lot of gold into Packy's pocket that he's going to be able to back. My guess is he's trying to save up for a BF here. He's got almost 50 CS. Cuddle looking to go in here. The Aatrox is trying to trade with him in the minion wave, but Prophet is just going to be able to walk in and cry right on top of him. He gives him all of his tears. Whoa, the chains pull Prophet out of his Q. He's not able to secure it there, and Prophet's just going to walk back at him and cry the tears of sadness and despair right onto Aatrox, and pick up that kill for Prophet and a little assist for Cuddle. A nice early pickup, nice early kill, and my guess is Prophet is going to go straight down to try to take this dragon.
Yeah, I wouldn't be crying though if I was Neogen. That's a cheering moment right there. You do end up finding that early kill, gets Prophet a little bit accelerated, helps him catch up too to this Mundo who's just power farming his way up. So nice little play there from Neogen to find the pick.
Yeah, Mundo actually wastes a little bit of time in the bot lane trying to look for a pick there on Packy, but they were able to spot him out on the Tri-Brush ward, so he just walks away. And now that gives Prophet just enough time to get that back, and he's actually going to show up already an item and a half ahead. I'm sorry, a half of an item ahead of this Mundo. Plus, he's going to be able to show up for this fight where the Lucian is dashing in. He has no mana left. The Lucian can't fight this. Prophet's just going to be able to engage with the Q and force the flash out from the Mundo, and I think that's going to be an easy dragon for them. Vuso on the Yone has still been able to show up for this dragon fight, and Ziggs just back, so they've completely conceded the control over this early dragon.
Yeah, nice play from Neogen and nice play from Prophet, playing a little bit of that defender role there, waiting for the Mundo and then the step forward, and then he makes his presence known, ends up blowing a vital sum. And like you said, they're going to get a free dragon from this one. Really nice pickup for this early game for Neo.
I think this is exactly what they needed to do. This is exactly what they wanted to be doing. They're playing extremely heavy on this bot side of the map. Prophet looking for the follow-up kills and the follow-up ganks when the Mundo tries to go relieve the pressure in the bot side. And meanwhile, Paki has built a massive 17 CS lead right here. He's going to back with an insane amount of gold.
Yeah, definitely sitting in a nice spot right now in that bot lane. Caitlyn is really happy with the way things have been going and playing the lane exactly like it should be. If you take stock, though, of the rest of the map right now, right? Minor lead coming out in the mid lane for the Ziggs. He's got that range. It makes sense early. He's definitely going to have a little bit of that threat to be able to push the waves in and collect some of that extra farm. But in the top side, again, Cuddle falling a bit farther behind here in the CS department. Didn't pick up that early kill on the Aatrox, and Aatrox does have about 3 waves on him, which is, that's a lot.
Plus, the Aatrox just goes Hex Drinker first, which is, I mean, it's the right move, but God, what an annoying first item pickup, because that completely nullifies any engage from the Kennen. But Prophet is actually going to get caught out here. He tries to just find the pick anyway. He flashes in onto the Emilio and the Lucian in the top side and finds a massive stacked ultimate with Kennen, and Yone's able to show up with the ult, but Cuddle has to run away from the opposite side of the map, and he's going to give over a double kill to Ziggs, and I'm not actually sure that Neogen's going to be able to walk away from this one.
Yeah, no, Monkey actually made a really good move there, and they moved their bot lane to the top side in preparation of these grubs coming up. The fight ends up taking place, but even with a nice engage coming from Neogen onto that bot lane, getting both ultimates down from Cuddle and Prophet, they didn't quite find the kill, but look at that. Karma coming in banned with a hero play, steals a Void Grub, and kills the Mundo. Band showing up big right now.
Not only do they do that, but they claim the feat of warfare for getting that third kill. So they've gotten at least one of the feats of warfare. They only need either the first tower or the second objective now in order to claim feats of warfare. Plus, that gets the Karma another kill. That's actually not a terrible trade for them. Plus, now we've got the lanes back into their right spot. I actually really like that play from Monkey's Doom. That's a super heads-up play to bring the Lucian Milio topside. It does end up forcing them to still... They kind of lose out. They just kind of die to the Kennen Amumu engage, but they blow all of their ultimates on that fight, and then the Ziggs is able to walk in and clean that up. Ziggs actually has Blackfire Torch finish, which is a super strong spike for him.
Yeah, that's definitely a good spot for the Ziggs. Getting those 2 kills there, still with a small creep lead in the mid. He's really happy, and it's definitely going to be something to keep an eye on as this game progresses. The Ziggs damage is really able to start ramping up, and his wave control is just massive. Definitely something to be careful of on the side of Neo. And as you see here, it does look like Vuso has started to walk down. The culling comes out from Lucian, trying to find some damage onto Neogen, but it doesn't really do too much there. Vuso is hovering in this portion of the river, and now he's going aggressive onto the Mundo. Prophet does find the... Oh, nice engage. Vuso does find the kill onto that Mundo after that bandage toss lands, and they do get the pick. Nice moves there.
Yeah, that Mundo just kind of died, like, really fast. I mean, I know he doesn't have any resistances yet, but my goodness, that was a lot of damage. I'm sorry, not Band. Vuso doesn't even have an item finished, and they just chopped through that Mundo. That's not good for Monkey's Doom that the Mundo died that quick.
No, and like you said, Vuso doesn't have that item yet. Wait till that Bork comes out. That's a huge 1-item spike for the Yone, and he's going to really want to abuse that as soon as he gets that Bork. Yone becomes so strong after that 1 item. Then he has a bit of a lull for a couple of minutes until he ends up getting to 3 items, right? So once you get the Infinity Edge, you have usually, it ends up being the shield bow and then the Bork. That's kind of like the core 3 items for most Yones. But this one item spike, I cannot stress enough, is really, really impactful for Yon in this early game.
It's kind of funny. I really thought that this was going to be the battle of the bot lanes and really a lot of action happening in the bot lane, but it turns out it's been actually the mid laners that have been popping off. It's really kind of dead even right now in the mid lane. 2 kills to 2 kills, no deaths, no assists, and dead even on CS. They are exactly even right now on gold income for the mid laners. Yone, though, yet to back. He needs to back so that he can get these items picked up because there's another dragon spawning on the map right now.
Yeah, this is definitely a big play right here. Vuso not having, he might not even have the money quite yet. Bork is quite expensive with its components. It looks like Vuso, though, is actually just going to be taking care of this top wave while Neogen gets another dragon for free. Monkeys don't feel like they can really contest this one, especially with the Kennen in the area. They're worried about that Wombo combo CC. I really like this movement from Neogen here, Muffins. Pulling the Kennen down and swapping him with Vuso gave them the priority and the ability to cause a massive team fight if Monkeys overstep.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because, like, I feel like they're like Neogen is just playing so much more confident on this comp than they did last game. I feel like they kind of fumbled a little bit in the mid game. They did start to turn around late game with that fight with Packy on the Varus, but this game just right out of the gate, it's been an extremely strong showing from really everyone on the side of Neogen, playing super confidently with their champions, playing really confidently with taking these engages in the macro play, moving things around the map. I'm really liking this. Neogen is looking like they are ready to take this game away from Monkey's Doom and take it to a 3-game series.
Yeah, but
Prophet
look at the fight
showing
now.
up.
Prophet gets there in time and beats the Mundo to that gank. Mundo tried to counter gank that top, but he does fail. The Aatrox falls, and that's a really nice pickup again there for the side of Neogen.
I think this Mundo is just kind of falling flat. He's had no impact on the map since early. He's not doing anything. Prophet everywhere. 2 kills, 2 assists. He's shown up. He's taken the 2 dragons, the objectives. He tried to show up to the grubs and just had to go for the fight anyway. But the Mundo not really showing a lot of presence. Even when he does show up to the objectives, Vuso just kind of walks at him with the Bork and says, "Dare you to fight me?" He's just going to chop through that health bar. I don't know. Neogen looking really strong right now. Packy, oh my god, the damage! Absolutely crazy damage right now with the Yuntal Wild arrows. He is forcing this Lucian to have a terrible time. I've been in this lane before. It's not fun.
Yeah, Packy feeling himself there on that flash forward to try to find that final auto attack to put that bullet in the head of Lucian, but it didn't quite stick. Lucian does stay alive thanks to the Milio healing and shields, but man, styling on him. About a 30 minion difference in that bot lane as well.
Look at this.
Here
Aatrox
comes another fight.
sleeping again. He doesn't know that he's there. Prophet walks in, and they're just going to take... Oh, he does flash the bandage toss, but it doesn't matter because Cuddle lands the stun anyway. They're just going to use the ultimate. Find this pick on the Aatrox, but my goodness is he healing a lot. With that Maw of Malmortius, he is going crazy with the magic resist plus the Omni Vamp after the shield pops. I actually thought he might have gone 1-for-1 there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I honestly thought that Aatrox was going to turn that. It was kind of scary. That's the problem with this Maw is he's able to do stuff like that. But here, another engage flash forward by Prophet finds a giant Curse of the Sad Mummy and catches both of them. What a nice bandage toss at the end too. Double kill for Prophet. 5-1 on the board. Let's go, Neogen. That's what we like to see.
Oh my god. Prophet, you are going crazy on the Mummy right now. Absolutely silly sicko mode. He's 5-1 now. A 2-man ultimate into a flash bandage toss. I'm sorry, flash ultimate into a bandage toss. I mean, come on. Prophet looking absolutely mighty fine this game. What did you say they call him? The fingers.
Prophet's got them fingers, Muffins, and he also looks mighty fine, I must add. You're right on that one. His Amumu is scary, man. I mean, this is another game where he's hitting really nice ultimates. He's making great movement around the map. I can't speak enough for Prophet's prowess right now in these games, and this is exactly what you want to see. That's a lot of damage coming out from Paxax, too. He hit that headshot onto that Lucian, and absolutely chunked him. It's going to be really scary once Paxax hits his Infinity Edge.
I'm just gonna take a little bit of a peek over into the chat. I see we have I'm Colonel hopping into the stream first. Message says is the series 1-1. Syncry, thanks for responding. Yeah, the Monkey's Doom, who is on the blue side this game, are up 1-0 after a super intense first game that went about 45-50 minutes. It was pretty freaking long. Now we have game 2 going on here with Neogen on the red side, having a pretty sizable gold lead. Colonel also asking production, could we hide the time controls? It can give little spoilers before the fights. I hadn't noticed that, but maybe we could get production to find a way to hide the time controls while the game is streaming so that we don't spoil possible fights.
Yeah, but look what's happening now. Cuddle is taking a really large engagement onto the bot side there. Flashes forward onto Ziggs, but he does not have enough damage to actually kill him off, and Ziggs does end up picking up a kill onto Cuddle. Goes a little too deep without Prophet getting there in time, and now Prophet's trying to hunt him down. He does find him on the bandage toss to make it a 1-for-1, but I don't think Cuddle was ready to die for that.
No, he absolutely was not ready to die for that, but I don't think it's a terrible trade. Cuddle is not really ahead right now. At this point in the game, being 0-2, he's kind of just an ultimate bot to follow up with the Moo. Prophet got a little bit crazy turbo fed this game at 6-1, and he's now kind of the damage. And him and Vuso, and as you can see, Vuso just chopping through this Aatrox health bar. That's scary.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming from Vuso, but now he's getting dove, it looks like, on the back side here. Nice E to get out of the damage, but will he live? No, the Aatrox does find that last hit there, and he ends up getting a shutdown onto Vuso. That's going to be a lot of gold coming into the pockets of Aatrox.
Sorry, Colonel, we are not able to find the setting for that. We will take a minute, and during the break, we will take a second and try to see if we can figure that out for you. Just so that we can make sure that that is taken care of. But for now, we will just focus on the game at hand, and we will try to keep things hype for you, even if you do get spoiled. Let's take a little bit of a stock of the game here, Poppy. We've got a little bit of a dead time here. No objectives on the map currently. Neogen, they gave up a little bit of ground there. The gold is now only about 2K, 2.5K ahead for Neogen. But they have 3 dragons at 19 minutes. This is kind of the opposite of what happened last game, right? Neogen is now controlling the dragon, stacking this game, and they're on soul point. And it is an infernal soul, which is only going to ramp their damage even stronger. Cuddle still not doing super great into the Aatrox, not really able to fully match him, but is able to at least clear the waves. Prophet is kind of controlling this game alongside Vuso. And Packy is happy to just continue farming. I think once Packy hits this IE with the Utah Wild arrows, that is when that damage is going to really start to ramp up.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge spike. And you're seeing Band is doing a lot of damage too. Band actually opts to go for the Malignance first item on the Karma to get that extra damage on those empowered Qs with the Mantra enhancement. I actually really like that. It's going to be a lot of added damage that maybe they needed on the side of Neogen to help kill off some of these tankier characters on the side of Monkey. And what we're seeing here is that now it looks like another little fight. Vuso getting a bit aggressive into the bot side here onto Ziggs, but he just gets pushed off with that satchel charge, and nothing ends up happening from that.
I gotta say, band director, we kind of all know who's the real carry on this team, right? It's band director. He may not look it, he may not act it, but he is quietly the carry of this team. You put a Malignance on his hands on this Karma, and he's going to go silly mode.
Again, hold that right now. There's a bit of a fight taking place in the top side here. Prophet finding the Aatrox and does burn him down, but that's a big kill from Mundo on the back end. The health bars are falling down. Vuso has teleported into this fight, and he's finding chop, chop, chop. Vuso cut him down, and that's an angry Yone. Paxax is ramped up as well and doing a lot of damage. Really, really nice ultimate from Vuso off the back of that teleport to find the extra kill and turn that into Neogen's favor.
Yeah, Yone is just cutting through this team. The Yone is going to be an absolute menace this game. And actually, Packy is the one who walks away with 2 kills in that fight. getting crazy accelerated here. I think he's going to back and finish his IE for this next fight, and they're going to look to try to force this Atacon fight while they have the 2-item spike on this Caitlyn. It's going to be another brutal fight coming right at you here in just a few moments' time. What do you think Neogen needs to do to succeed in this mid game right now?
I think they're playing it exactly like they need to, right? They are allowing the characters that need to farm, get the kills, everything, right? This Caitlyn and this Yone, they're allowing them to be able to get what they need to continue scaling. And they scale to infinity almost on the side of Neogen. It's really, really scary right now that the Yone and the Caitlyn are ahead and they are finishing these core components, right? So they need to continue allowing them the resources. At the same time, they need to play for this dragon. Neogen is looking really poised to have just a clean sweep on these dragons here in like 30 seconds time. And this is what they need to play for. Get this vision control right now and use the range to just make it very difficult for the side of Monkey to walk in.
Yeah, they brought all 5 members down here for this soul fight, and so at the very least, Cuddle's going to be able to secure a few waves for free in the top lane as well as a tower. I think Neogen's kind of happy to just take a little bit of a chicken fight here, and the Mundo looks for a flash ultimate to try to go in there, but I don't know. I don't really think that was the play, and Prophet lands a massive ult, but the Aatrox is trying to go in the backline, but Packy is just doing incredible damage from so far away. TP ultimate! It finds the absolutely massive TP ultimate!
Cuddle on the backside with that cannon. He came in with a big old thunderstorm, and he completely locks down 3 of the members on Monkey to put a nail in the coffin of that fight. Neogen coming out ahead, and they're going to take the dragon for that soul. Great fight for Neo.
Zip, zap, zop. I just hopped in your bop, and he hops into the back line of the side of Monkey's Doom, melting, absolutely melting their team away. Cuddle just showing up when the team needed him most right there. That was a really, really close fight. Packy is doing incredible damage. If he gets even 10 seconds of free firing, the enemy team is going to be gone. The Aatrox and the Mundo flash aggressively to try to stop Packy from doing so, and it was successful in that fight until Cuddle showed up, and then it was kind of over. I think this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, Poppy. The Mundo took flash, and his only option was just try to flash auto onto Packy, but if he just had Ghost, he could run at him. I just don't know what this Mundo's doing.
Yeah, and now you're seeing Neogen is poised to take this Atacon. They're not afraid to start this thing up, and as quickly as it starts, it's already down. But Packy taking a ton of damage on the backside.
Look at Vuso
Prophet
on the back
is
line.
a bit left out. No, it's not looking good. It looks like Neo does need to run from this one right now. The Aatrox is trying to go aggressive, but Neo just needs to get out of this. They need to just leave what they have to leave. Let Ban go down if needed. Just get out of this fight. This is a really, really scrappy play. If they play it long enough, but Cuddle wants to re-engage. He flashes forward with the Hex Belt, finds 2 on the stun. Really nice engage, and they do get another kill on the backside onto the Mundo. You know, Monkey was hungry. Monkey hungry, but Monkey no get the food. Neo just took them down.
The boys, they're playing so well. What a confident and organized re-engage that was. I just know Cuddle was like, we've got this, boys. And he Hex belts forward, he hits the ultimate, melts the team. Prophet follows up with a bandage toss and is able to just layer enough damage for Packy to turn, fire a couple of those shots off, and it is incredible damage. They turn what could have been an absolutely terrible, terrible fight or a bad reset, which would have resulted in a free Baron for Monkey's Doom, into actually a positive where they pick up some kills and they're ready to set up these lanes so that they can get easy vision control over this Baron. I mean, Neogen playing this as about as perfectly as you could ask for.
Yeah, Cuddle's just over there sitting behind his desk. All he's saying is zip, zop, boom, bop, and in your bop, you know? Like, it was beautiful. He really gave it to him on that one, and his engagement on these ultimates have been awesome in this mid game. It's exactly what we needed to see coming out from Cuddle. His lane phase was still a bit difficult, but he is finding his footing, and he's making an impact when it matters most.
this is what you want out of your teammates, right? When things feel frail, oh my god, that is a lot of damage from Packy on Packy. This is really, really bad. They need to get out of this. Please get out of this. Oh, the culling is coming through. The Aatrox lands the sweet spot Q. Cuddle's going to try to respond with an ultimate, but he just can't chop through this Aatrox. He does finally go down from the tower shot. That leaves them with only 2 Baron buffs on the side of Neogen, plus they're going to get the bounty gold. They were caught sleeping a little bit, trying to back out of that one. I do believe that they were pinging to walk out topside, but I think Packy thought that they were safe enough to walk through the river, not knowing that Monkey's Doom had enough vision to know that they were walking that way with this ward in the river brush, and they get some sort of consolation prize on the backside of that one.
Yeah, 2 towers fall from Neogen there, and Monkeys will be happy to at least capitalize on that. But you did see in the top side, Buso did get that second tier top, does mitigate that loss a bit. So not anything game breaking. Neogen is still in the driver's seat here with these Barons, and now it's just utilizing those and getting these waves pushed out and finding again this vision control into the enemy jungle. The next thing that's going to come up is going to be an Elder Dragon. And again, this is going to be a really pivotal fight that Neogen is very much ahead for, and they're in a good spot to take this fight, but they need to be on the same page, Muffins. It's what we talked about earlier. Get to the objective early like they're doing right now, secure your control, set up a pick, and don't let Monkey in.
Yeah, the Aatrox has no flash here. This is good. The rest of the team has flash. They find the Emilio. Oh, he's sleeping, and they just finally get the pick with the Caitlyn sniper shot.
Big sniper bullet
is going to see Ziggs walking through. They catch him on the rotate. This is beautiful, beautiful execution from Neogen. They are completely in the driver's seat. They did exactly what you said they needed to. They found these picks with the vision, just like Monkey's Doom was doing last game. And they're going to be able to walk this tier 2 mid tower in and then immediately turn this around into an Elder Dragon.
Yeah, really nice stuff coming out from Neogen. You saw Big Sniper Bullet come out again. It's one of our favorite
Big Sniper
skills.
Bullet.
Big Sniper Bullet. Oh, but Paxax overstaying just a little bit. What a good engage from the backside of that tower. Prophet does find a nice lockdown, but Packy does go down to this Mundo, running him down. Mundo is angry, and he's throwing briefcases, but he does not have the damage to take down the rest of Neogen. And honestly, Prophet and Ban doing some real deep damage to them there. Really nice stuff from Neo. They only lose Paxax, and they get 4 and a tower in return.
Yeah, Prophet just saved Packy's life there. Well, I guess delayed his life long enough to win the fight. Big scary purple man comes running out from the side and flashes onto him, but that's a lot invested from Monkey's Doom there just to try to save that tower, and all they get from it is Packy. But he is going to be able to spawn with enough time to run back to this Elder Dragon fight. You can see Milio trying to grab as much vision as he can. Just Bobo is getting what vision he can to try to spot out what they are going to do. They bring in even a TP from Aatrox. They are looking for this, but they find the Ziggs trying to rotate from mid, and they catch him on the flash still with the Prophet ult. And that is going to be an immediate pick for Neogen, securing a really strong advantage in this fight.
Yeah, really good stuff from Neogen. Again, using the control, using the tempo to find another pick. It happens to be on the Ziggs, which is really nice. That poke potential is just completely taken off the board now. So they have a free time hitting this Elder. But Vuso wants more. He dashes forward and he ults onto the back.
Incredible.
They absolutely cut down Lucian. He was gone in an instant. Really, really nice play. And Cuddle's not finished. They want to find more here off the back of this Elder Dragon. Just, Mundo, I thought you were supposed to be a tank. You just popped, my friend. Prophet, bandage toss. I don't know about the hitbox on that one, but we'll go ahead and give it to him anyways. This guy is on fire. Prophet's got them fingers.
Poppy, I need a tall glass of ice water. I am steaming hot over here from Prophet's plays this game. Prophet absolutely carried this. You can see Packy, he's in here in the chat before we even finished the game, saying it was an illegal bandage toss. I think you're right. Production, can we get a check on Prophet's computer? Is there something fishy going on the backside? Sorry, just gotta tease a little, but I think Neogen's gonna just walk this one in. Packy getting the triple kill. Is he gonna find the Penta? He gets
Quadra.
the Woo! Neogen coming alive in game 2, sending this to an even 1-1, and we are going to send this one to a third game. Poppy, I am so hyped to see how this happens.
I tell you what, Neogen came back swinging. They might have lost game 1, but they said that is not going to put us out. And they came back hard in this game. And that was a dominant victory, putting Monkey's Doom down in this series. We've got ourselves going to silver scrapes here, Muffins. That was an amazing game. And we will be right back after a short break once this game 3 draft begins. Go grab a drink. Go take a bathroom break. We'll see you soon. All right, welcome back, everybody. Here we are again. Game three is about to start with their draft phase here. Neogen Xenos taking on Monkey's Doom. This has been one hell of a banger of a series already, and now everything rides on this game three. I think we're in for a really, really good match here, and you can see that the pick and ban phase has kicked off. Neogen Xenos taking the Swain out of the mix as well as the Senna. And it does look like Cuddle is not going to get to play his coveted Urgot once more. Monkey's Doom definitely don't want to play against that. So they have taken it off the field. And it looks like they're prioritizing some more of Paxax's champ pool here, taking the Ash out of the equation. Long range setup, lots of slows and vision control. That's a primary target. And I really like that ban coming out from the side of Monkey's Doom. But it does look like Neogen has got their last ban coming through here in just a second. We're going to see who it is going to be.
Right, I just got back and I see that Cuddle is not going to get his Urgot.
That is right. Yep. Unfortunately, monkeys have taken Urgot out again. They really, really don't want him to get that. Um, but Neo answers here with a Volibear. There must be somebody on monkeys who likes this Volibear pick, and they are not going to let it come through. Vi in retaliation on the side of Monkey's Doom. No Vi for profit tonight.
No, no Vi. I do wonder though what Prophet's going to play. They've left the Nefiri on the table here. I'm curious if Neogen first picks Nefiri, and they are going to first pick that Nefiri. Look at that.
Woof, woof,
I
woof. The dirty dog.
Yeah, I saw that one coming through. And with the way Prophet's been playing tonight, this ain't gonna be no puppy. It's gonna be a big dog.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot, Muffins. We've seen what Prophet does on Nefiri, and it is scary. But Monkey's Doom, they are trying to answer with a counter pick of their own to the Nefiri jungle. Nocturne,
Mm.
definitely a good character into Nefiri, but Nefiri is in just such a spot right now that it is so hard to even really find a true counter to it. I don't think this is a bad pick by any means by Monkeys, but we'll see how they end up piloting it. They end up also picking up the Azir in the mid lane.
It's a really strong round one draft for Monkey's Doom, actually. Nocturne is an extremely strong counter pick to the Nefiri. Um, like you said, he's able to just press his when Nefiri presses R and wants to go in, Nocturne just counters by pressing his R button. Cuts off the vision completely from Nefiri, not really allowing Prophet to pick the target that he wants to, and then Nocturne can re-engage when he would like to. And then Azir on the backside of this, really, really strong mid lane pickup. I don't know if the mid laner on Monkey's Doom plays a lot of Azir. I mean, my guess is that you wouldn't lock it into a competitive game if you haven't played it at least a little bit, but we've seen one other Azir go up against Neogen last week, and that Azir did absolutely nothing for his team, even though he got ahead. So um, hard to pilot champ, but in the right hands and in the right game state, Azir absolutely a great pickup into the Nefiri. And then we also see the Ezreal Ari coming through for Neogen.
Neogen has a scrappy little skirmish comp going on here and really, really hard to lock down. I mean, all of these characters are hyper mobile. Monkey's Doom really needs to pick something with some point and click CC that is just going to guarantee someone being locked down. Otherwise, I don't know how you're going to catch Neogen Xenos. This is something that I actually saw last game, Muffins, that I failed to mention during the game because it was just so much action. But Monkeys did not have really any crowd control to lock down Neogen last game, and you could see that it caused a lot of problems, right? You couldn't stop the Caitlyn from getting away, you couldn't stop the Yone from diving the back line, and they just chopped them up. So again, Monkeys needs to find some crowd control in this game. But it looks like they're banning it instead of picking it. They got rid of Leona, and I hope they don't ban Nautilus here because that's really the next move.
Yeah, they've got no solid CC. I mean, the Azir, the shove, that is decent CC. It's a nice knockback, but that's on an ultimate, and you don't want to have to blow that just to stop the engage from Neogen because what, you stop the Neferi from hopping for 3 seconds and your ultimate goes on a minute and a half cooldown. Like, that's not really going to save you for very long in these fights. Monkey's Doom also banning out the Poppy, which again, weird ban. Poppy, great support pickup in this team fight. Um, in this team comp for Monkey's Doom. Poppy completely nullifies the Neferi jumping in, the Ezreal shifting away, the Ari dashing in. Really interesting draft.
Yeah, the Poppy pick here on the ban is interesting to me. Like you said, it's something that I don't really see where it was going to fit in Neogen's comp, right? You've already got your jungle pick. I don't think Cuddle is much of a Poppy player either. And yeah, there's a couple dashes on monkeys, but nothing crazy, especially after you pick the Jinx in the bot lane. An interesting pick on the Poppy. We'll see how that ban ends up working out for him as they do secure the Rakan, who is going to be joining Jinx in the bot side from monkeys. And now we're going to have to see what Neogen is going to decide to pull out. Oh, and it's Cuddle on the Renekton. The crazy croc.
Yeah, I'm ready to see some Croc action. I'm also ready to see Cuddle pop off. Cuddle tends to be a bit of an anchor for Neogen, extremely strong on the top side of the map. And like you said earlier, when he gets ahead, he really creates such an impact. But in those first 2 games, he was on the Rumble and he was on the Kennen. And I didn't find that Cuddle was really having as big of an impact as he typically does, especially the Rumble in game 1. I think he really struggled to make as much of an impact with the damage from the Rumble that he was expecting. But at least in game 2 on the Kennen, he turns it around and finds some nice flank ults. But I would really love to see Cuddle just go absolutely crazy on the Renekton in this game. Get super far ahead. Look at this dive comp that they have, Poppy.
Yeah, Neogen is scrappy, and they can definitely dip, dive, dodge, and weave, and maybe they can also duck too. I don't know if we're gonna just recite the entire plot of Dodgeball on this one, but I think that's what Neogen's trying to do here. They can move on the map right now, and I think that is definitely going to be to their advantage big time. Because again, monkeys trying to now find some CC. Rakan, it's not guaranteed, right? You have to run into him with that quickness. You also have to hit the W skill shot. Gragas, probably their easiest CC to pull off with the body slam. But even then, there's so much mobility on the side of Neogen. Monkeys is going to be working overtime to lock them down here.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. It's going to be a tough one. There's not, like you said, a lot of point and click CC. Gragas, decent with the body slam, reasonably easy to land, but otherwise not the best. Rakan, like you said, mostly skill shot, or at least having to face the enemy team of Neogen all jumping in on top of you. They've got a lot of things that they have to have go right for Monkey's Doom. However, if the Azir gets ahead, if the Nocturne can make the impact across the map like they want to, I do see a way for them to get out of this with a late game Jinx. Once Jinx hits like 3 items, if she picks one of the 5 of Neogen and gets excited, I think even with all the mobility, the Jinx will just gun them down before they can even handle it, just because they don't have a lot of tankiness to soak up the Jinx damage. Um, Otherwise, though, I don't know if there's really another way out for Monkey's Doom here. I think overall the draft has got to go to Neogen.
Yeah, I like Neo's draft a lot better here, in my opinion. But I do agree with you. They have a way out, and monkeys have to look towards the late game Jinx Azir combo. The DPS that's going to come out from that when you start hitting that 30-minute mark is really going to be scary. So Neogen needs to find themselves a really sizable lead prior to that point and really try to probably target this Jinx and put her on the back foot this game. So I'm hoping to see some aggression towards the bot side here. I have a good feeling that Cuddle should be in control of the top side of the map. Gragas is a really safe blind pick into the top side, or even just a safe pick in general. So I think it's a good move, but it's not normally like a lane dominant pick, right? It's really easy to go even, to not lose too much or suffer too much, but you're not going to normally carry like crazy on a Gragas. So I think we need to look towards that bot side of the map and see what Neogen can put together to get them ahead with roams from the Nefiri and the Ari.
I almost wonder if they're just gonna go strong side top and let them have strong side bottom. I think that that's not a bad option, right? Ezreal is such a super safe laner into the Jinx and the Rakan. If the Rakan tries to W onto him, there's so much leeway with that skill shot for the dash for Rakan's knockup that the Ezreal can just easily buffer that or even just dodge it entirely with the phase shift. And I think what they might do instead is just let Band Director roam on this Tom Kinch and get Nefiri and Renekton so far ahead that it won't matter how far ahead the Jinx is.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a very plausible strat. I could totally see that as well. Like you said, Ezreal's so safe, can farm from long range with that Q, and he really, like you said, isn't really in a ton of pressure from the Rakan. So definitely see that coming through for the side of Neogen, and we'll just have to wait and see. We got a couple minutes before this game kicks off here. We've seen a lot of heated fights. We've had two banger matches, but the real ticket question here, Muffins. Who's gonna walk home with that Iron Medal of Failure in this game three?
Well, so far, the top laner for Monkey's Doom has walked away both game one and game two with that Iron Medal of Failure.
Ooh,
First to 7 deaths on the Olaf in game one, first to 7 deaths on the Aatrox in game two. I'd like to see a three-peat from the top laner.
that man's gonna look like Flava Flav with how many chains he's got around his neck when he leaves this game tonight. I'll go with you on that one. We're going enemy top lane. Sorry guys, you're gonna get 3 medals from Ivern tonight.
Can we see some medals of failure in the chat, please? A couple of pop offs of the medal there in chat. We've got brand new emotes. If you haven't seen, we've got emotes for all the boys down there. We've got emotes for the casters. We've got emotes for the production team. We've also got Discord. We've got YouTube. We've got Twitch. Come and follow us. Come and hop in and get a part of this hype community.
Yeah,
We also just hit
Neogen's
Twitch
awesome.
affiliates too.
Money, money, money. That's what Neogen's saying. We're screaming all the way to the bank with these streams. We're going huge. We're the next big thing. So if you're not a part now, you better get in quick because Neogen is going to the moon, baby.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time because we're going to the
Oh,
moon.
beautiful. That was an incredible Elton John rendition from you, Muffins. I mean, that I couldn't have, I couldn't have even imagined that I'd be sitting here with the Elton John casting a game of League. I felt like I was transported right there. That was beautiful.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. Spaghetti Kids coming in saying, "What about Neogen NFTs? A little Neocoin action, maybe?" I,
Mm.
Spaghetti Kids, would you like to be the first to purchase your own unique Neocoin for the low, low price of $2,500?
A little pump and dump action on some Neo coins could be fun, guys. Get in
I'm telling
quick,
you, hey,
.
that Neocoin will be unique to you and only you, and it might be worth more than 2,500 someday.
Yeah, or it could be worth 25 cents. So take your gamble. You don't ever know. But hey, we're going for it. I like the idea. The Neogen NFTs. You want to buy a little virtual Neogen real estate? Go ahead. I got a nice little cozy duplex over here waiting for you.
Oh man, Poppy, we have too much fun on this stream. I gotta say, we have too much fun. That's what Neogen's all about, you guys. We're trying to build a very fun and lighthearted competitive community here, right? Like it's okay to enjoy competitive league, but also just not take it that seriously. We want to be something a little bit different, a little bit new than what we have found in some of these other leagues, and we wanted to set up something that was a little bit unique to reflect the people that are a part of this organization. And so, if you're about that yourself, come and join us. And with that, we are on the Rift. Poppy, what do you think is going to happen in this early game? What do you think is going to happen with this level one? Are we going to see another 5 to 9, or I'm sorry, 5 to 4 kills at 2 minutes into the game?
I don't think so. I think this is going to be a pretty tame level one again, coming out from both sides. It's the CC's not there on most of the champs. Neo has a little slight edge with Tom Kench Q's and the Renekton W, but I think both teams are just going to try to play this one out easy level one. No real action, unfortunately, it looks like.
No, not a lot. It makes sense. I think they kind of got it all out in that game one. We were at like 30 kills between both teams at like 20 minutes into the game. I think they got all the killing they needed to out in that first game, and now they're ready to play a bit more of the slow, methodical strategy game that is League instead of just whacking each other around.
Yeah, and if you look here, I'm looking at the chat in game too, and there's a couple pings coming down. Cuddle is pinging the Jinx and the Azir. I think again, kind of highlighting what we spoke about in the pregame. Those are the targets. Those are the champions that need to be shut down this game and need to be focused down by Neogen. I like that there's these pings are already coming down saying go for these guys.
We've got Hooked on Flays hopping into the chat. Feels like the opponent needs more peel for Jinx than they have right now, in my opinion. All of our champs have mobility. I'm 100% on your side, Hooked on Flays. I agree. They definitely needed a little bit more targeted CC to really help lock down the side of Neogen, but it's not really there. And you can see Cuddle taking a really early level 1 trade with the Gragas. Things are getting spicy up in the top lane.
Yeah, Cuddle's getting aggressive. He wants to just dominate this lane, and it does look like he is able to hit the level 2 up there from what I can tell first, but that's a volatile lane with how low those health bars are going. I'm seeing, again, some more trading also going in the other lanes. A little bit of poke from Pack Sax, a little bit of poke from the Ahri. I mean, Neogen has got everybody pushed in, and they're really just trying to find some dominance right off the back.
Cuddle has the sustain, but so does Gragas. I'm actually kind of curious if Cuddle's even going to be able to secure these kills without something like the Ignite. He took TP. He does have the Conqueror for these extended trades, but I almost wonder if Ignite, it's tough to say. I don't know if he's going to be able to get these kills on the Gragas without the Ignite.
Yeah, I think that the name of the game, though, is without teleporting these comp games, it is just so difficult. You have to be able to rotate around the map and match plays, and it's sacrificed maybe a little bit of that lane pressure to be able to show up when your team needs you most. Bavuso with a nice charm onto the Azir, trying to find the damage, but the Azir ends up getting the shield, finds first blood onto Vuso, and that was just a little bit too aggressive from the Ahri.
Unfortunate there for Buso. I think he saw the opportunity, but Ahri does deal a lot of damage, but she really shines when she hits that level 6 and has a few more levels in her Q. She really needs to be able to kite around for a lot longer in these fights and avoid the damage. And Ahri unfortunately just doesn't really have quite enough damage early on to secure those kills like that. Whereas Azir, once he gets the lethal tempo going, he's just going to win in those really long extended trades. And unfortunately, Vuso has to now kind of concede this lane. But wait a second, Prophet catches him on a back. He's going to dodge the Q with his untargetableness, and that's a first kill for Prophet.
Who let the dogs out? Who? That's what they're saying right now in chat. I mean, Prophet showing up again on this Nefiri, finding a sneaky little kill into the mid lane, and that's a nice pickup. Prophet's eating good.
If Prophet just gets even one more kill on this Nefiri, he's going to just completely take this game over. It's really unfortunate. I don't really know what Monkey's Doom was doing here with this draft, letting the Nefiri through and then picking no really strong, hard CC for it. I don't think that there's really a lot that they're going to be able to do to stop this Nefiri if he gets even one more kill.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that letting Nefiri through right now, especially in the meta the way it is egregious. But now you're seeing a gank take place top. Gragas does have to flash to get out. It's a lot of damage for not doing much of anything. It's kind of scary. That's kind of scary, Muffin.
That's kind of bad. That's looking not so good for Monkey's Doom here. I'm really liking the odds for Neogen. Vuso just kind of lying in wait, kind of watching the Nocturne get what he can by invading while Prophet looks for the top side of the map. And I think we're just going to have to basically wait and see here. We're in a little bit of a stalemate right now while we're waiting for Prophet to be able to try to set up some of these ganks. But I do think that if he can get Cuddle a kill and get him a little bit accelerated, they will both be able to start taking over this game.
Yeah, Cuddle, though, I do think put himself a bit on the back foot. There was an early roam he made into that topside jungle trying to find that Nocturne with Prophet, but it's got him down about half a level almost onto this Gragas, which it's a little difficult to be the lane bully and have complete control when you are down a level and don't have your ultimate yet. Thankfully, he is able to crash the tower top and get a good reset here. But you gotta watch some of the roams sometimes. Top laners like Renekton really want to just be able to just bully and beat their lane, and you gotta be careful. You gotta stay in control.
Yeah, I think Cuddle's going to try to get this early reset and match the damage that the Gragas has. He's gone back and gotten 3 long swords just to try to be as gold efficient as possible with stacking some AD while he's building towards his first item. And I think now that he has his ultimate, the ability for him to outlast the Gragas in these trades is going to be pretty important and pretty strong for him. So I think now Cuddle's looking to probably freeze this lane out and kind of force the Gragas to come into him so that he can just take trades whenever he wants.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see how this top lane unfolds. Obviously, some more trading going on now. It does look like Cuddle trying to get a little bit of damage down, but this Gragas is pretty tanky already, especially when he pops the W and gets the damage reduction. Cuddle looking like he might have to pop this Dominus here really soon, and he does do so, but he does it more in a defensive manner. The Gragas able to bully him out a little bit here.
Yeah, the grass procs plus the damage reduction, the bone plating, the sustain on his passive. He's just got so many tools to last as long as he wants in these trades. And then if you land those barrels, oh, it's a nice sidestep from Packy. I'm sorry. And then there's more going on in the mid lane. Nocturne drops the ultimate. He goes in on the mid lane with the Ari. They find a strong response from Prophet there on the counter gank. Wait a second. It wasn't even. I thought Nocturne was going mid.
Nocturne went bottom. Yeah, there was 3 fights taking place simultaneously there, and the poor Cam just lost its mind. Couldn't figure out where to exactly be. But that is a wasted Nocturne ultimate. Long cooldown early on, especially right now, level 1. So really good job there from Neogen playing safe and not overextending too far in the bot side. Now you see, look who it is. The Diggy Dog showing up, and he is going right onto Jinx, trying to find some damage, but he does get locked down and charmed by the Rakan under tower, ends up falling, and this Jinx is finding some damage back onto the backside, but it looks like they are going to just take what they can get, and that's unfortunately a failed dive from the side of Neogen.
Nocturne looking to find Cuddle in the top lane here, trying to punish the Gragas, but he does find the re-engage there, and is able to slice and dice away from the Nocturne fear. Cuddle showing some really extremely strong mastery of this champion right there, knowing that he could take that 2v1 confidently and be able to walk out. That is a phenomenal play from Cuddle right there.
That's a slippery lizard there, Muffins. He just dashed right on out once the Nocturne showed up, picks up the kill on that Gragas, and Cuddle's really going to be happy with that one.
I think now having the Croc with this kill, they are looking extremely strong on the top side of the map. I think it's time to just kind of let the Ezreal farm. He's got his Sheen. He's got his tier stacking. I think Packy is pretty happy to just let waves crash into him and farm from super far away with his Q. There's really nothing that Rakan and Jinx can do unless they land a full chain CC plus the Jinx ultimate layered on top. Hold on a second. Cuddle looking for a pretty aggressive trade here and just getting absolutely chunked out again. But Prophet is showing up, ready to fight off the Gragas. The fat man wants no part of that puppy.
Yeah, this is a little scary, though, right now. Prophet trying to find this play towards the top side, but now look on the other side of the map. Nocturne and friends are taking this dragon, and it is a mountain drake. This is exactly what Monkey's Doom wants. Those extra resistances are going to be vital in staying alive against Neogen, who have such a high damage and mobile comp. I don't like this. I actually don't like this. I think giving up that early dragon was not the move.
No, it wasn't. And now they're finding out that the Nocturne has just been hanging around. The Rakan tries to go in to find the charm. He does land it on the TK, but Band Director is happy to just kind of walk out from here. And he gets out with the flash. He almost survives. If it wasn't for the Jinx ultimate, he at least gets Packy out alive, and not a terrible way for that to end at the end of that, but a little bit greedy for Packy and them to try to stick around and punish that Jinx for a little bit longer, not realizing that Nocturne had his ultimate back up.
Yeah, a lot got busted there, though, for the side of Monkey's Doom there to try to make that play happen. I mean, you had a Nocturne ult, Nocturne flash. I think you also had the Rakan ult and flash as well to come down. So they had to commit a lot of resources to find that kill onto Band. Now it's up to Neogen on the other side to punish that, right? So we'll see if they're able to capitalize and bring Profit down to the bot side and try to find something onto some of these characters that are missing those vital sums. And as we take a look towards the top, Cuddle ends up getting solo killed by Gragas with a nice flash E to get that body slam, and he just throws down the full combo. Cuddle not respecting that Gragas damage.
No, I think Cuddle was playing a little bit on a knife's edge, a little bit on a razor's edge there. I think what he was hoping was that he was going to bait the Gragas out and just underestimated the damage, but I think he was probably spamming that R button, expecting to be able to turn that with his Dominus up and just be able to turn around and burst out the Gragas to finish off that kill. A little bit of a miscalculation there from Cuddle, but overall, I like the aggression, I like the play and the confidence.
Uso going aggressive here in the mid lane against this Azir, but he's a level down and just does not have the damage to put him down. And that's a second kill getting picked up in the mid lane. This Azir really starting to get a bit accelerated here, and Vuso making some questionable calls. This is something that they're going to have to clean up on, and really quick. Otherwise, it's going to really get difficult for Neogen in this game. If you look on the board right now, the two characters on the side of Monkeys that you don't need getting fed are getting fed.
Yeah, I was speaking really strongly that we felt super strong in this draft, and I think overall it was a strong pickup. But I do think that Neogen they've given over a couple of kills here, trying to be a little bit greedy with some of their decision making and macro decisions, and it's led to pickups on both the Azir and the Jinx, getting them pretty far ahead. And it doesn't seem like Prophet is really able to find a window into some of these lanes right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I really just think all it comes down to is just choosing the wrong plays to make, right? They're not doing anything super egregious. It hasn't gone out of control by any means, but it's little gifts that they're giving over here and there to Monkeys, and it ends up adding up by the time you get into this mid game. Normally, Neo dominates in the early game, and right now they push too hard, and now they're reeling from it.
Think they need to kind of slow things down and let Packy kind of catch up and get out of this bot lane. I actually think Packy now, having been able to just stay in this bot lane for so long and farm up, he is a solid 20-25 CS up on this Jinx, even though she's got the 2 kills. Packy is probably about even in gold with this Jinx at this time, and once he gets this Triforce finished and gets really close to this Monomoon, he's going to be able to pump out the damage that they need from this range. I think he needs to kind of get out of this bot lane. Cuddle finding a lot of difficulty with this Gragas.
Yeah, this Gragas is playing it well, too. He's really putting a lot of hurt onto Cuddle. And you see Prophet ends up coming up there just to dissuade any further aggression from that Gragas. But this is becoming problematic. As this game goes on, Renekton's going to lose the ability to continue to trade with this Gragas and win the lane. And as you can see, that scale is already starting to tip in favor of Monkey Doom's top laner.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, like, all things considered, going even is a net negative for Neogen just because of the Gragas being a little bit better in this mid-game if he goes even than the Renekton. If the Renekton can't survive to dive into the backline, that's about all Renekton can do. He doesn't offer much else. So I do think that overall, like, the Gragas is coming out ahead here, even by going even, but if Cuddle can find some ways out of this lane and into some of these other fights to find picks, that will keep him relevant.
Yeah, and now you're seeing it looks like Neo's pulling the trigger here on trying to get this dragon. They don't want to allow the side of Monkeys to go ahead and start stacking. Really nice job securing that one before they really had the chance to react. and it does look like Neogen will take that one for free.
Vuso is finding a little bit of damage now onto this Azir. If he does land a charm, Vuso's damage is at least finally doing a little bit, having hit level 11 and have that Malignance finished. But the Azir is at boots 2 plus Nashers and a Haunting Guy, doing a lot of damage. Wow, Cuddle finds a nice trade and engage onto the Gragas to punish him for trying to go under tower. He has to pop his Dominus, though, just to kind of keep healthy there. The Nocturne looking for an engage. She turns the lights off, goes in on Packy, but he just dashes away. Prophet is there to try to follow up, but he gets completely chain CC'd. He's not able to go in on anyone. The Nocturne dives in under the tower, but Band Director eats Prophet at the last second, right before Jinx can get excited, and she's too far in. The positioning is bad. Vuso TP's down. He's got the Spear Rush available, and they're just going to clean this up. Packy Sacks with the triple kill. What a beautiful, beautiful play and team fight from Neogen. Poppy, what am I looking for here? What are we looking at?
You're looking at Mr. Clean on that Tom Kench there, eating him at the last pixel perfect second to stop that kill coming through on the Prophet. Turns the entire fight around with the help of Vuso's TP. Really nice move and a nice take on the turret for Neogen there as well. I did see in the top lane, though, unfortunately, Cuddle does lose his life to the Azir roam. But again, that was a really, really well-played skirmish towards the bot side there. Neogen is going to be very happy with that, and Paxax getting that extra gold is only going to help their position in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he just backed off of that fight and finished his Mana Moon. He has a Triforce, and he's got his boots too, the Boots of Lucidity for that extra CDR. He just needs about 80 more charges on that Mana Moon to turn it into a Muramana. Once he hits that 2-item spike with the Muramana upgrade, the Ezreal is going to do insane damage. There's not a lot that Monkey Doom can do to stop Neogen with that when that happens, and with the Tom Kinch able to just stand there and walk at them so that he can free fire, Packy's going to be doing a lot of work in these fights.
Yeah, I think right now it's all just going to come down to Packy's positioning. Obviously, being on such a safe character like Ezreal is really going to help that. But the one thing he can't let happen is he just cannot get locked down by the Rakan with a Azir flying in behind and then Shurima walling him into the team. It's going to take a lot of effort on the side of Monkey's Doom to make that happen onto Paxax. But again, I think that's like the only way they can really reasonably lock him down.
And if that all happens, Band Director just eats him and he's safe. Like, I think they're going to be okay. I also really like this too. They've swapped the Renekton and the Ahri to opposite lane opponents so that Cuddle can have a little bit of an easier matchup into the Azir. But right now, Azir is walking up. They're looking to try to turn this into a 4v3, and Nocturne just turns out the lights. They find the engage onto Packy. Packy has to flash away, but he still gets feared from the Nocturne. He's almost dead. Jinx getting about ready to get excited, but throws her ult in. Cuddlebun trying to show up and do what he can with the Dominus, but he's just chopped up in the backside before the fight can really get going. That's going to be a lost fight for Neogen.
Yeah, that was bad positioning. This is exactly what I was talking about. Where they were at on the map right there just caused, unfortunately, that fight to take place. And you saw right there that Band was on the wrong side of the wall there. Ended up having to use his W to get to the other side in the lane, completely away from Packy and the rest of the team. He was unable to ult anybody for safety. He was unable to really do much there, unfortunately. And really, Monkey's Doom is just going to be very happy with that chain of events.
Azir is getting really, really accelerated and online. He's about to back and finish his second item, and he's level 13. That means he's got his fully maxed out Q, plus his level 2 ultimate and a fully maxed out soldiers. He's going to really be doing a lot of damage in these fights. The Nashor's Tooth plus Leandry's, and he has a needlessly large rod completed from that back as well. That Azir's going to hurt.
Yeah, the later this game goes to Muffins, the worse this becomes for Neogen. And right now, Neo is a bit on the back foot. They are losing out slightly in gold, and it's a little scary right now, right? You don't want to see this Cuddle taking a lot of damage in the top side there, but now we might see a skirmish down towards this dragon. Third dragon of the game is about to spawn, and you see the engagement. Rakan gets a nice jump in. Vuso does get the charm onto the Nocturne, but Nocturne Paranoia flies in onto Vuso. Vuso having to try to fly out, but he gets sniped by a Jinx rocket on the back end, and that is that's going to effectively end this one for Neogen.
Yeah, they're gonna have to just concede this this third dragon to Monkey's Doom, but they're not done yet. The Azir goes in. The Rakan is looking for another fight. He has the quickness up. He finds the knock up and the quickness onto the Tom Kench, and Packy is just left to die. They are getting all over the top of Neogen. Neogen not really able to stop them from doing this. The damage just isn't there.
Yeah, this is really, really not good, Muffins. I mean, Neogen has just been giving up too many picks around the map, and now the lead has went from being only about 2K to being closer to 5K. And now Atacon also being taken over from the side of Monkey's Doom. This is really starting to snowball and get out of control for Neogen, and I don't even know the answer to come back.
Yeah, I mean, I think the issue here is what do Prophet and Cuddle do into this team? Now that they're so far behind, they've got to dash through a Rakan and through a Gragas body slam to get to this Jinx and this Azir. When the Azir wall comes out, that's another obstacle you have to dodge, and then the Jinx has traps. That's another wall of CC you've got to dodge. I think by the time they even get to these backline targets, they're going to just be dead from the DPS of them, and they don't really have a lot of tools to do it otherwise.
Yeah, this is a dire position to be in right now. Everything really rides on the next 5 minutes of this game and the right decisions being made. Neogen needs to find something, an overstep from the side of Monkeys, a pick bush, something else to really try to swing the gold back in their favor. But again, the later this goes, the worse this becomes.
How do you, what I mean, what is Neogen's out here? Is it the Ezreal late game taking some really long kiting fights back and just hoping that Ezreal will do so much damage in about 10 more minutes that he's going to just chunk through them? Like, I'm not sure who else is going to carry this game.
And we'll hold that thought. Nocturne coming from 3 screens away does find Cuddle a little too far over in the top lane, and they easily pick up that kill on a Cuddle Bun, going over to Azir on that one. And we've talked about this before on the old Nocturne. This is exactly what he likes to do. He turns a nice 1v1 into a 2v1 in an instant, and before you know it, you're dead.
I'm really scared when this Azir backs. He's going to have his Rabadons finished, and I think that might kind of seal the fate of Neogen if we're not careful here. The boys have got to play so incredibly safe. They do not own their jungle anymore.
No, and you're asking, what's the win con? And I unfortunately think the win con passed. And maybe this is pessimistic, but all the things we talked about in the pregame and early on into this game 3 that needed to happen just haven't taken place. You didn't get that winning top side. You didn't get a winning mid. The only lane that did well was really the bot side, but an Ezreal is not going to outscale and outcarry. But a bit of a fight taking place.
Okay, the Azir is TPing in, the Rakan is looking for the fight, and they find a nice blast cone to separate the team. Prophet is going to be able to jump and then flash away, but the Jinx got excited. She's coming in again. The Azir following up with the Shurima Shuffle. Not a lot that can do there. I mean, I thought that was a decent little look for a fight there, but they turn it so quickly, and the Jinx gets excited and just starts to really free fire with the lethal tempo, and things are looking grim for Neogen, but I think we gotta try to turn it. Let's hype up the boys, okay? Neogen, you guys can do this. I believe in you. Let's get some hype in the chat. Let's get some emotes in the chat for the boys. We gotta lift them up here.
Yeah, we do. The guys can definitely come back from this one. It is not out of the realm of possibility, but it is going to be difficult. I can't state that enough. Right now, all the wrong characters are getting that gold on the side of Monkey's Doom, and it's making this job really hard. But we've seen Neogen come back from some crazy insurmountable odds, and we'll have to see if they can do it now.
Yeah, I believe in them. Packy is their way out right now in terms of damage. He is strong enough that he can do enough damage to cut through the characters on Monkey's Doom, but he's gonna need a miraculous fight in order to be able to do that. He needs a fight that he can stick away from the Nocturne for long enough, stick away from the Recon for long enough, so that he can put down that DPS. He's going to need a lot of help from the team to really, really, really collaborate and communicate on that one. But I think they can do it. I believe.
Yeah, like I said, it's just going to be difficult. They can definitely pull themselves out with this one, but they're going to have to play almost perfect. They can't make any more mistakes, and they're going to have to find some miracle fights.
They do just go ahead and concede this fourth dragon over to Monkey's Doom. They are happy to give away that one and try to hope for a little bit of a stronger team fight setup for Soul Point in just a few minutes. They're going to just try to instead soak their wave, soak their XP, get whatever jungle camps they can to stay on this game. They do find a little bit of a 2v1 on the Gragas. He's by himself. Not even the Nocturne is close by, but my goodness, the Gragas damage is still pretty crazy. He finds one on the Nefiri. Oh no. Oh no.
No.
He's going to get the double kill. They turn that one around. The Nocturne's going to find the engage onto Cuddle. Renekton, he's not able to do anything. Band Director has to eat him just to save him, but then that leaves Packy Sack's vulnerable to the backline. He gets knocked up by the Rakan, followed up by the Nocturne Fear, and they are going to just walk this one in. Unfortunate, very, very unfortunate into that series for Neogen. Well played to Monkey's Doom on that one. Really strong showing from them. Poppy, what's your take here? What's your little bit of a summary of what happened there?
Yeah, this is, I said it a couple times throughout that game. We had the pregame discussion about it. None of the plans of what Neogen really wanted to achieve with that comp came true. They lost in the lanes that needed to be at least, and honestly, they need to be ahead. They couldn't even really be even in this game. And unfortunately, Monkey's Doom was able to run away with it. A
Yep.
couple of unfortunate macro mistakes, some overzealous plays to stay in lane a little too long and maybe not respecting their lane opponent enough ended up causing uh, the Jinx and the Azir and honestly even the Gragas to get pretty far ahead. And once behind, Neogen didn't have the damage to be able to counteract and overcome the lead that was created from Monkey's Doom. But we've got to give
Yep.
it up to Monkey's Doom. They played great. It was an awesome series, a couple of really banger matches, and we went to a game 3. That's always fun for the viewers and everybody here. Yeah, I mean, we're really looking forward to some more games in this series or in this season, I'm sorry, and Titan Vanquisher League here. This was just week 2. Now Neogen is sitting at 1-1 in this season so far.
Yeah, I can't say more other than just what a fun night of some competitive League of Legends. If you missed Game 1, definitely go back and check out this VOD later tonight or tomorrow, and just go back and rewatch that Game 1. What an incredible match that was! Really showing some extremely strong promise from both of these teams. A super close match, and then two matches that were kind of mostly one-sided. I think both of these teams super strong showing, really good moments on both sides, and I was just happy that it was a nice, even, clean, fair match. And I don't know, I can't wait to keep this season going. Poppy, it's going to be a fun season. It's going to be a good summer. The boys have been improving every single week, and I think if you want to continue to show up and know when we're going to be streaming, join the Discord. Follow us on Twitch. Follow us on YouTube. We'll be posting VODs on there. You can follow us and get notifications for when we go live if you join the Discord. Otherwise, please feel free to donate and help us grow our org. If you have any desire to see us continue to succeed, please feel free to donate. Of course, not required, but any donations will just go right back into the org. And I think with that, Poppy, why don't we send them off?
Well, thank you, everybody. From the bottom of our hearts here at Neogen, we couldn't be happier to have been able to bring this game to you guys tonight. Stay tuned for more next week. We'll probably be back Tuesday and Thursday for some more quality league action. Y'all have a great one.